Okay. Let me just make sure. Okay, my mic should be working. My mic should be unmuted. Both of these things should be true. How are we doing, everyone? Oh, Joseph Windle, thank you. I think also King of Canyons. Yeah, I see them up there as well. Thank you both for donating even before the stream had gotten started. Oh man, we are late. March tried one last time to grab us and drag us down into hell. Yes, the music is a little bit louder than normal. There we go. Yes. March has been rough in terms of scheduling, but especially after just today trying to drag us down into hell, we are back. Is the Silent Hill soundtrack? No. This, in fact, and I thought it would be very fitting, is the very first OST that you will hear when you open up the Fate Stay Night visual novel. This is the Fate Stay Night visual novel for the main homepage. I remember hearing this OST when I had randomly stumbled upon Fate Stay Night as a visual novel after watching the Dean Stay Night anime and thinking it was pretty okay. Back when I was a wee lad. Little did I know that butterfly effect would lead to where I am today. Cycles and cycles continue never ending. I can see though how it would be misconstrued or identified as like a Silent Hill or even like any kind of horror soundtrack, because this one has always been like a very like moody. I could definitely see this as being like a horror soundtrack or like the soundtrack to a horror game. But no, it's to an arrow game. All right. Oh boy. Potentially one last session. This could be the last session depending on the choices of the players. Do they decide to break the cycle? Do they decide to peacefully allow the curse that has caused so many lives to live free as a person? Will they attempt to kill it? We shall see. And in fact, let's go and see and talk to the players. Oh, would Arch do the silly? That's a good question. Let's go talk to the players who are going to be making those choices, because I'm not the one that decides whether this is the last session or the second to last session. That will be one of these 3, potentially 4 people.
Session. I don't know about that.
Hello, how's it going, guys?
It's going great. Everyone's doubting me that is the final
It's not
session.
gonna be like the final session. The next session is just gonna be like part 1, part 2, the final, and then there's gonna be like part 2, final, part 3.
Unless you guys somehow manage to do some really funny stuff, this is either going to be the last session or the second to last session. And it just kind of depends. There is even a way that you guys decide to fight it, and this still turns out to be the last session. It just kind of everything depends on you guys. It's no longer in my hands.
Yeah, let me just get out my list of 6-level spells and infinite items.
I gave the curse some hands, like some cards, that if he fumbles it, it's not my fault.
Guys, okay, so to give you like an intro to my situation, I just got off playing a rage game. My heart rate didn't have time to settle, and now I'm going straight into bed.
Yes, welcome.
I just came from DMing in a session, and then my fucking power went out, and then I'm here now. Well, not my power, my internet. Dear God, I'm so sorry about that.
But yes, we are winding down to it's been a while, so some reminders to both the players and us. The players in chat. We had left off on a sympathetic session, or an interesting session at the very least, where they had gone into the Rakshasa cave and talked to the curse, or one of the last shards of the curse that no one had ever spoken to yet. The curse had basically said, I don't want to be the curse anymore. The curse said that it understood that it had been causing so much pain and terrible suffering, and had given the story about why it had done everything, why it had did the things that it had did. It was made to be a wish-granting device, but those who have wishes are not those that are happy, are those that have wishes are those that are dredged in despair. And so again and again and again, the curse saw despair. Every single terrible side of humanity was the very first things that the curse ever saw of humanity, and eventually it drove the curse itself to despair. And it said, I want to use the Grail so that I can end this long night over Tibet. So I can end this whole entire campaign. I just want to be human. Because Yamada had showed me that there are beautiful things in this world too, and I want to give them a chance. And we've also, over a very long period of time, over the last couple of sessions, kind of, or at least we're getting to the conclusions of a lot of the other players, the players themselves, major story arcs, with Ubel, after continuously back and forth, whether or not he wanted to leave or own up to his past, has decided that he is going to stay. He gave a salute to his friends, the last remaining friends that are still alive at the very least, that being Lydia and Livia, solving their situation with the Russians and the Americans, and sent them off on their way as he goes to face his destiny. We have Noah, who has tried to stay the course of being a good person throughout this entire campaign, and has been veered off towards the dark side at every single possible given choice, but has still somehow managed to stay the heart of the party. And a lot of what he's dealing with is dealing with the fact that he is, in many ways, the heir to Hephaestus's kingdom, and he does know that he has the power to hijack the dream, to try and bring about potentially Hephaestus's utopia, even though he disagrees with it. So that's on the back of his mind. And if, as side note, as a reminder, unless something very weird happens that I do not foresee, he only has one chance to hijack the dream one more time, because using that power will erase the rest of him. So he will either live in the dream for eternity, or he will be gone. So Noah has to make that choice about whether or not to use that button in the first place, and to reclaim the kingdom that is his by birthright. Yamada had already made his choice many sessions ago, after being used and betrayed, and poor Yamada. Actually, can we play Yamada no theme real quick? Give me a second. I literally call it Yamada yo theme, by the way. In my mind, this is just Yamada's theme. Yamada is no longer with us because after many sessions of being betrayed over and over and over again and lied to and used like a tool, he eventually came to the same conclusion that Daigo did so many years ago, is that this world is terrible, that it's not worth living in, and that death is a mercy. And so he killed every single one of the monks that were there, giving them mercy, absorbing them into the curse, and then he was soon taken out soon after, thanks to one, not Elizabeth Blair. Elizabeth Blair's mother, Grace Blair. Finally, Elizabeth Blair. Oh boy, her arc is yet to be concluded, huh? I'd say two of the arcs. Ubel's arc is pretty concluded. Yamada's arc is definitely concluded. Noah's is still technically up in the air. Yeah, Noah's is still technically up in the air. Although I don't think Noah's going to make a midnight hour heel turn. I don't think.
Watch
so.
me.
So I think 3 of the characters still have their arcs concluded, and then we come to Elizabeth Blair, who, from the very start of the campaign, has always been trying to do this no compromises, I will save every single person, kind of almost like Shiro Emiya-esque kind of character, who thinks that she can get everything that she wants if she just tries hard enough. And she has been reinforced multiple times. She has fought Lancer and Berserker toe-to-toe and lived to tell the tale both times. She beat a car and forced him to give up on his dreams. She has, due to good rolls and good use of the rules of Pathfinder 2e, those two things, has managed to outsmart and overpower almost every single thing that's coming her way. And so she's never been truly shown that she can't do anything. And so she, at the moment, when the curse basically gives the sob story about like how it was created and how it just wants to be a normal person and live as a normal person, get that chance that it was robbed of, the same chance that everyone else has. she is now given a really tough choice that she has to make, because Archer had said that no one will ever understand you as a ruler. You just have to do what you want to do, and always be true to yourself. So Archer gave Elizabeth a rose that will, in theory, allow Archer to hijack the curse and then win the Grail War. And now Elizabeth has to choose about whether to betray all of the entire party and use that rose on the curse in the final hour. She chose not to in this last session. However, she still has the rose, and me, the DM, me, the person, am not sure what's gonna happen. I don't know. Skorak is fully decided about what's gonna happen yet.
Everything is up in the air.
I don't even know if Skorak knows exactly what's going to happen during this session. But yes, that's a long recap for all of the party members, a lot of the NPCs and whatnot. It's been a long time. Oh, but we are actually finally in the end game now. One
Thank you to everybody for supporting us all, even right now. Thank you for the 20 gifted.
Yes, I was going to say yes. Thank you.
I don't even know how much these are.
Neither do I. Thank you to Dorian.
That has been going insane.
Yes,
Dorian with the copium, Gulag, King of Cannons. Thank you all so much.
So to read them, I unfortunately didn't manage to fully catch up, but I wanted to thank you all for writing such an amazing story, even though Ubel is a homewrecker. I saw Dorian was really mad that her James headcanon ship was going down. It was sinking.
Oh, sorry.
And Gulag for the best campaign I've ever seen. If we get one last, let's see that one last Green Gang. And thank you to King of Canyons and Gulags after that. Thank you to everyone, but also thank you to every single person who has ever watched one of these streams. I know we've had a whole bunch of people that have come in and out, etc., etc. But it has been very enjoyable to see this campaign run a second time, to see the different ways in which many different characters turn out to be heroes or villains or whatnot. And from the very start, I'd always said that I was curious about how this campaign ends, because I don't actually have a set-in-stone concrete ending. It just depends on what the players do. And even to the very potentially last moment, I still don't know what these fuckers are going to do. Skorak or Noah could just flip the script at any time, and I have no fucking idea what's going to happen. And so, before we actually start, though, as usual, especially because we have Para here, let's go around. Skorak, man of the hour. What is your fun fact of the day?
Jesus Christ.
I'm already dead. I don't need a fun fact anymore.
From the after.
Well, your fun fact is the fun fact. Damn, what kind of fun fact could be appropriate for the final session of, who... Alright, you know what? Fun fact, I started writing an interactive fictional, right?
I think you were close,
yeah, you know how I am very bad at doing things? I'm very good at procrastinating and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, you know what would be nice? If I had other people to talk to so they could keep me in check, right? Because usually that makes me, that makes me work better. So I made a new Discord server for authors of interactive fiction novels, and nobody had done that before in the community, as far as I'm aware. So now this server is going insane, and I don't know how to deal with that. Like, people are joining a lot, and I'm like, I didn't expect that.
You're popping off.
Yeah.
Remember me when you're famous.
Yeah, interact with me in your interactional fiction when you're famous, please.
Yeah.
Open Pandora's box.
Okay, it's not like going fucking like hundreds upon hundreds of members, right? I'm not like, we're not saying that, but it's going way fucking bigger than I thought it would. I think that's an actual fun fact. That is a fact pulled from the ether. Yeah, there you go.
All right, so Risu, man who has just been wrangling his internet into control, what is your fun fact of the day?
My fun fact of the day is going to be about way back when we made Noah. I found something in one of the rules And I asked Dio, hey, can I use this but with this instead? And he said, you know what? That sounds really cool. And it never came up once. I have never once used this feature. We spoke about it was one of the only things Dio and I really like spoke about in terms of what my features. And I never used it to this day.
Dungeons and Dragons do me like that.
You know what that
It's,
sounds like to me?
It's the player
That sounds like
card.
foreshadowing.
It's the player card, right?
It's the playing card.
God, that's
We'll
funny,
talk
yeah.
about what they would have done in maybe the Q&A.
In the
Who knows?
Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Never
another
used
bit.
it yet. We have
All
one
right.
whole session, or maybe two.
And Kaiser, whose character is at the moment just along for the ride, just like, you know, it is what it is. We fight it, we don't. How are you doing? What's your fun fact of the day?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a fun fact along the lines of that about my character as well. When I first made the concept of Ubel, I thought he was gonna be somebody completely else. I thought he was gonna be like the wholesome village lad. You know, he's gonna talk in a countryside accent. He was supposed to be like more or less like a tinkerer kind of guy. So that's why he has crafting proficiency and lore engineering, which I have not used a lot of. The reason for that is that I went into my pre-session with a completely different vision for my character in mind, and then Dio's pre-session happened for me, and I was like, okay, so this is who I am, and the personality of my character was basically decided in my pre-session.
It sounds like
gonna
what
be something
happened was
completely else.
your character had dreams, hopes, and aspirations, and then you learned what the bet was, and that went away.
In a way, a lot of things
Okay.
can be summarized as that, right?
okay. I got a fun fact. Because y'all got said it. I got a
Yes,
fun
and
fact.
yes, Para from the afterlife. What is your fun fact of the day?
Okay, fun fact. Okay, I have two actually, but I'm just gonna say one. Fun fact, I never actually thought about Yamada's appearance. And I still don't know if it's Yamada or Yaman. Is it T or D? I don't know.
Yamada,
I still
Yamata,
confuse
yeah.
it. Yeah. I still confuse it. So yeah. Up until now, I still haven't even considered about the appearance of Yamada.
I mean, we
You
have
know
the whatchamacallit token.
The only reason why I used the manga image is because I was reading Blue Lock before that.
I'm actually completely on board with Para on that. I still don't have a face for Ubel in my mind. I just have like the outfit in mind from the reference art and like the AK and stuff. I have no idea what he looks like. I'm just kind of playing the character.
Oh boy, these characters.
One
have
last
been
thing is
through
probably
so
that.
much.
You know what? Actually, since all of them did like character fun facts, and I haven't, can I do an extra fun fact?
Sure,
No.
sure.
Go on.
No.
Okay, so,
No.
so, came out of
We need to save it
instinct,
for
I'm
the
sorry.
Q&A, Skork. We need to
Sorry,
save it
my
for the
bad.
Q&A.
I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
Love that.
No, that was funny. That was great. Don't worry.
It came up in my
Um,
instincts too. I was gonna say it as well.
Okay, so I still have no idea what the blurs were in the previous campaign, or if they were. Because in the beginning, I thought they were not a thing. Because I brought the idea up to Dio, right? And Dio was like, oh, I'll need to change the map to add the Blair Manor, right? And I was like, cool, okay, so I brought this idea in there. And then he started talking about James. And I'm like, wait, James was a thing in the previous session. How much of this was a thing? Was I duped? Did you just repackage his ideas as the Blair family?
No. We can get into this. That's more of a Q&A thing, but so I'll explain that to you right now. James was a character. James has always been a character inside of the campaign. However, the rest of the Blair family was made for this version of the campaign specifically.
Okay,
So
cool.
Grace, Gaius, and Maria were not characters from the original version of this campaign. And just like that, there are characters that you guys have never seen and will never see that were not in this campaign because they didn't make sense because they were attached to the other players. Because I will add, and I have added, certain characters that are new to the campaign. And yes, as King of Kenya, it's the no grace, ooh, correct. Things were a little bit different in the other campaign. So that's why sometimes inside of my mind I have to set things straight. So forget, I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not in this timeline.
Listen, if I get the Grail, I'm just gonna wish to meet the other Noah.
Fair enough.
James has always been a thing because his character is like very integral to a lot of the, well, not integral, but he's always been a thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's, I was just curious.
But yeah, so James existed, and then I just tied you to James because I thought it would be interesting.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, there you go.
There you go, guys. Early Q&A.
All right.
Skork, you need to save it for the Q&A session, Skork.
So
No.
then, how will this end? These characters have been through so much, have changed a lot, and in some ways have not changed at all, Elizabeth. So
This is what happens when you don't experience failure. You don't.
Can I
What's
go to
your
the
fun
bathroom
fact,
real
Dio?
quick?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, what's your fun fact, Dio?
My fun fact. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, here. Actually, I do have a fun fact. My fun fact is that yesterday, Living Rain invited me to play League, and I couldn't because I had to spend like 30 minutes to an hour reminding myself of all of the mechanics of the final boss. Because the final boss has 4 phases, and I have to remember all of the mechanics because there are so many mechanics in this fight.
I cannot wait to skip all 4.
And that's just the fun fact because, in theory, none of that could matter if these guys just choose to not fight the final boss. If these guys just choose, no, actually, I've decided that we want to be friends and everything is peaceful, then all of that time is for nothing. That's just being
Listen,
a DM, though.
Noah hasn't had a single proper fight, and we ain't gonna start now.
Well, no, technically Noah's like fight with Hephaestus was pretty.
I didn't-
well, it was a normal fight,
I didn't
but, like,
I didn't cast a single spell that was properly in my thing. That was all like
know what?
made up shit on the spot. When we did the dream wall, that was made up shit. I didn't really fight Hephaestus the first time. I just showed up and cheated my way out.
Fair enough. Go off, King. It's my fault.
Today's the day I learn how to play this fucking Pathfinder 2E.
Yeah, because the final boss it's something, all right. I'll tell you that much. There is a lot that goes into it. I think I mentioned that if you're a Final Fantasy player, you'll understand some of the phases a lot more. So I'm counting on Risu that if the fight does happen, I'm counting on Risu to lead the party to victory. Because if you don't,
I
wish
will-
you all the best of luck.
I will have
Okay.
you know, when I play Final Fantasy, I kind of just my friends usually say, "Hey, don't stand there." I go, "Cool." So,
I know a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. Okay, I've played the base game.
Oh yes, but so
he's
yeah,
gonna die.
I'm looking forward to that. There are 4 different themes, one for every single one of the phases, and then if it starts the way I think it starts, it actually has 5 phases due to how Skorak is going to start the fight. So that's going to be very funny. It just depends. We'll see. So potentially we're staring down the barrel of a 5-phase fight. So I hope that you all remember how to use your character sheets.
It would be so funny.
And also,
I forgot how all my spells work.
And in true Tibet fashion, you are not guaranteed to win. You can very easily lose this fight and I'll just die. So looking forward to that.
I
Same.
will say there is a play I could make here that I feel would be so fucking humorous. We'll see.
Oh yes, yep. That it should be. I am very curious. 5 different phases. Oh boy, looking forward to it. And I'll say, you guys don't even know. Before we even get to any of that, this is why I said this could be potentially the second last session, there is going to be a very funny scene to start off and to remind us all what campaign that we're going to be in. But we're going to wait for Kaiser to get back. Oh man.
He's
I
back.
never left. I never left.
Okay.
Bro, the chat is actually rooting for Lizzie to like crash out. Total victory, no compromises.
Right. Well then, welcome back into the frozen land of Tibet for potentially one final time. So, as mentioned, we had left off with you guys. We're going to exit, or you guys were planning on exiting and then rejoining the different parts of the curse, and in that, assumingly giving the grail to the curse so that it can wish itself out of existence. Basically, it can wish itself to be human, thus erasing all of the work that Hephaestus did to create this abomination in the first place. Oh, all right. So, speaking of that, so I think that we had ended off like at the very, very end about Noah had talked about, hey, I kind of made a pact to kill you right before with the Rakshasa. And the curse finally, like, it stands up. It was looking like Nishio for a while, but as it stands up, it puts over the hood that it usually has on it, and its face is obscured once again. And when it looks up to you, Noah, it more looks like Yamada this time. But you had already seen it do this a little bit with like how it ever changes faces with all of the souls that are inside of it. I can get us out towards the entrance of the cave. Are we all ready? And as a reminder, by the way, Honey, Maria, and Albert are actually over to the side a little bit. And I'll here one moment. There we go. Honey, Maria, and Albert are over to the side a little bit because they were the ones that did not listen to the curse's ramblings, just in case the curse was going to tell you things that were bad.
Yep.
So the curse like looks around, asking if everyone is ready.
Noah's gonna gesture over to Honey. Come back.
Liz is not in speaking terms with a curse.
I would assume. Oh yeah, you were very angry when you finally decided to capitulate. Yeah. Honey floats over towards you and then wraps her arms around you yet again. Well, Honey assumes that you are all fine because you are not all dead and or gargling on your own spit. This is good, no?
Yes, this is good.
Honey knew you had it in you all along.
Sure is something, that's for sure.
But when you motion towards Honey to come over here, they obviously don't see Honey. But as you motion towards them in general, though, towards the group, Maria and Albert do slowly walk over cautiously as well, because they thought you were motioning towards them because they can't see Honey.
By the way, Liz is not replying to Honey; she's replying to what Noah said.
Yeah,
like it's good, you know.
Yeah.
It's like something, all right.
Honey makes any conversation 4D chess.
Sure. I suppose it would be a good idea for us to teleport to the entrance of the cave. Ryder says. It seems like she tries to you can sense that she tries to use magic to sense outside to see if it's safe outside the cave, but since you're in Dreamland, it doesn't work. And she Ryder clicks her tongue and grimaces a little bit, but nothing to do about it. So does anyone else have anything to do and or say when you were still inside of the cave? So inside of the land of dreams? Or shall you step back outside, back into Tibet? We're going to assume no? Everyone good? Hello?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay. I was just dead silence. All right then.
Everyone waiting for someone to say, "Who, me?"
So then, slowly and carefully, the shadows around you begin to twist and swirl more and more until finally, seemingly the shadows dissipate on the walls. What looked to be like an endless expanse slowly vanishes, and as it vanishes, instead of seeing what you would imagine to be a cave because you went inside of a cave, slowly it vanishes, and around you appears Tibet. Around you appears Musuzeme. As slowly but surely the world around you takes form. You have no idea how this magic works or whatnot. Even for someone like Noah, who has studied magic his whole entire life, you have no idea what the hell how this actually works, really, like the inner machinations. As slowly you guys are phased into existence towards the mouth of the Rakshasa cave. And seemingly, the Rakshasa don't sense you, or at the very least, they have not sensed you yet. And you are yet again brought out into the night of Musuzeme, the eternal night that has been brought about by Yamada, still in the sky. This time, I will even specifically say, there is a crescent moon, a very slim sliver of a crescent moon in the distance, where before there was only just nothing but darkness. Well then, is there anywhere else that you want to stop by, or? The curse says, looking over at all of you. Well, have you made your peace?
We are ready to go.
The curse nods. And I...
See, what I'm trying to figure out here is who the fuck is Saber?
The curse, like, it had been depressed, whatnot for the most part, when you were talking to it, but it does give, like, the smallest, like, kind of like a sad smile towards you. It no longer matters. The only thing that matters is my will against it. The curse looks down towards the south as the wind blows a little bit, picking up a little bit of the snow. I want to be clear. There is a chance that I fail. And if that comes to it, you must kill me. I cannot be allowed out. It's a small chance. I feel... and he opens his palm of his hand and looks into it for a moment, kind of like stretching his fingers and whatnot. I feel confident this time.
Well, here's hoping anyway.
And the curse nods. Everyone roll me perception.
Oh, I don't think you realize what he actually said there.
Everyone...
He's like, there's a small chance of failure. It's just like, well, here's hoping anyway.
Yeah, he did not.
Oh, low number.
Noah passes. Ubel, no! It's okay, you have
Wait,
Noah.
you said perception?
Yes. The one that you're bad at.
Oh, let's see. Yep, let's see. What's it gonna be this
Come
time?
on, it could be the last perception. Come on, certainly, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Victory!
Come on.
You know,
Perception.
so
Perception.
there are two issues here, right? One, I am very bad at perception. Two, I forgot when to join the game. I'm joining the game now.
Oh wait, he's not.
Classic.
How are you
There we
going to
go.
roll dice?
Skorak was planning to beat
There
the
we go.
final
First
boss
turn,
without
turn.
joining the roll
First
20.
turn.
That's a power play, honestly.
Yeah, there we
You
go.
know, it's
Good
not
luck.
that
There we
bad.
go.
You know, it's not that bad. That's like an 8. You know,
That's an 8.
that's a nat 8. That's
What the
not
last
terrible.
time I rolled not more than 30.
I rolled a 3. I just checked. I rolled a
Yes,
3.
correct. You did roll a 3. I was like, how did you roll
Hold
less
up, hold
than
up, hold
Noah?
up, hold up. Let me roll. Let me roll.
From the all right, fine. You haven't got to roll in so long, Yamada. Just do it for old time's sake. Give us one
Hold on,
last
Can
roll.
he,
one
like-
minute. I need to log in. I need to
Yamada
log in
can-
as well.
If
Yamada's
his roll
thinking
is
he
good,
needs to
can I
roll.
use it? Like,
No.
he's from the afterlife?
No.
Oh shit! I haven't logged in this one. Hold up, give me a minute.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh.
don't worry. It's like 1 minute.
That's a long time in dog years.
Oh man. Some things never change. Elizabeth cannot roll above a 10 on perception. It's banned.
Perception?
It's banned. Wasn't there one time where you used your hero point to reroll and still failed on perception?
Yeah, I think.
I think so. I'm
Okay.
almost positive.
Okay, how the fuck do I roll?
You have to
Brother.
remember. Yeah, it's been
Dude,
so
she has tunnel vision.
long.
There is no surroundings. There's only forward.
Okay, there you go.
Liz has taught us that.
There you go. I need to click this.
If there's a third 23, someone has to go to
It's
jail.
on the
That's the rules of
bottom.
Monopoly.
Perception's on the bottom right, remember?
No, okay, hold up. Okay, found it.
Easy.
Oh, wow.
From the
That's my
afterlife.
number. It's I swap.
I swap. All right.
It's that easy. It's that easy.
So,
See, little known fact, ghosts get advantage.
so Noah, you are somehow the only person. So and most of the people start to head out. Albert opens his book and begins praying a little bit as he's going towards what potentially could be all of your deaths. Ryder goes to light up a cigarette, so she's not paying much attention. James is like muttering to himself over and over again, trying to hype himself up a little bit while hanging around Dubel. Gaius has his arms crossed. He looks over towards both of his daughters for a moment, but then nods to himself and marches onward. And so everyone begins to march onward, following the curse, following quote-unquote Yamada right here. As the curse begins to lead you down towards the south, and you are the only one that notices that off in the distance, there was what appears to be a humanoid shape sitting on the rock down to the south. There's a rock in the middle of the snow. It kind of sticks up because of how tall it is, and there appears to be some sort of humanoid figure just waiting for you there. And actually, you begin to see movement off in the distance all around that rock, as if there are multiple figures. What do?
Noah's just gonna call out to everybody. Stop for a second.
A lot of the people like look over towards you.
I think someone's watching us or having trouble over there. And he's gonna point in that general direction to it.
Are there any other allies that were left here? Albert says, looking over the party and then looking down towards the figure that he's squinting to see.
Oh.
What about Nameless? Where did he go?
Ah, you're right. We did leave him at the Blair Manor. Perhaps he's come to say his goodbyes. And Albert goes to walk towards them, kind of like nonchalant.
Noah's gonna follow him.
All right. And so everyone begins to walk down to the south.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone.
Oh, but do you
roll me-
have no fear?
If something gets within 30 feet of me, I see
Yes, I
it
do remember
easily.
your Overwatch. Yes. So when you are you're about right now about 60 feet out. And usually 60 feet is the edge of most people's normal vision. That's why I said it's kind of like blurry, and you only saw the figure of it. But as you get closer and closer and closer, I need everyone to roll me another perception, because all of you will automatically pass to see who was on the rock. But I'd mentioned that there were multiple figures. Zubel, you actually see them this time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Why did you sound so sassy about it, you?
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to be sassy. You also
I didn't
pass?
mean to be
Alright.
sassy. I was just born
Two
sassy.
of them passed. Surely Elizabeth.
Okay. Let's
Will
do
she
that.
break the curse now that she's with it?
Or
in this
let's
moment.
see.
is
Am I,
Elizabeth capable of change? We shall see. No,
No.
It's
Same
23.
Is Elizabeth capable of change? I asked, and Skorak rolls the same exact number. Awesome. Awesome.
We figured it out,
Hey.
boys.
All right.
I'd like to point out I also rolled the same number.
So, sitting on the rock as if waiting for you is a person that you all recognize. He is sharpening his scimitar as he looks up as you approach.
Ain't no way.
As
Insane.
the Grand General of Ishbolda, the Butcher of Nepal, Raul Arya awaits for you. He sits atop the rock, snow gently falling behind everyone, as the mountains and jagged cliffs are in the distance behind him. His mechanical left eye looks up and scans over you all, hanging on to the man that looks like Yamada a bit longer than the rest of them. And everyone except for Elizabeth can see he is not alone. In a phalanx position all around you, hiding behind anything that they can. So some are hiding in the snow, some are hiding in the trees or behind the trees. There are so many of the soldiers, all guns pointed towards your group. And one last person, as Raul himself looks up towards you and scans over you with his eye, a injured man limps out from behind the rock. clapping his hands in applause.
Uh-oh.
Is that what I think it is?
Ironia. You had all come so close to victory, and yet, in the end, you chose the wrong side. As Niccolo Machiavelli walks out and stands beside his prince, as it were. What do any of you do?
Well, this one has no fucking clue what happens. He's like, I fucking got cool.
Yes. You don't know why
Noah's
this is
gonna
happening.
slowly hide behind the rider because I'm pretty sure everyone was there when he said, "Yeah, sure, go
Yeah,
after her."
correct.
Gonna slowly just hide behind the rider.
What's the
Oh,
meaning
is-
of this area?
Raul looks over towards you, Elizabeth, with a rather stoic expression. He doesn't say anything yet, though. As he looks like he was going to say something, but then Nick steps forward a little bit, stands in front of him, and then looks over at all of you, and looks especially pissed over at Noah. Where is the crazy bitch anyway? Run off with her tail between her legs?
You know, she's independent like that.
Have you clued in yet, Elizabeth? Do you...
Yeah, it's kind of like, this fucking Archer's doing.
Archer. More like coward. Nick says, with like a very clearly pissed, and you could probably tell the limp in his leg is probably due to your own servant.
Well, if you needed some good news, she's not really my servant anymore, so I don't really know where she is.
I know. Because I wanted to help you be resurrected. And he, Nick points over towards Noah, thanked me by sicking your dog on me.
Just like fucking almost like chair creaking, like overlooks at Noah. Like, know what is he saying?
Ubel will, as they are talking, Ubel will use the mental connection with Ryder to ask Noah, should we nuke them?
Whoa, calm down. Noah's just gonna look out to Nick because every single thing that you said was a lie.
Grow up. I lied to you. It was for your own good. If you had listened to me, we could have won this war by now. As I'd said, though, you've chosen the wrong side. You were so close, Noah. And finally, and like, it's very clear, Nick is pissed at you all. But Raul, as I mentioned, is much more stoic and calm. Nick is like kind of like flailing around his arms as he's speaking to you all and whatnot, clearly extremely mad that he was betrayed. As Raul slowly and carefully goes to stand up on the rock towering above all of you and above Nick, who is behind in front of him, has his back to him, and he looks down towards all of you.
Sorry, I have baggage.
Throughout my time here, I have been cordial with you all. And yet... And there's a pause as Raul looks over all of you. And then specifically, his eyes again look over towards the man that looks like Yamada. You seem to have been behind the disappearance of the person I promised to protect. And also, he slowly and carefully climbs down the rock, his mechanical arm softly whirling with some kind of arcane energy. Not only that, but the recent attack on my men and my soldiers came from a familiar woman with a bow. And Raul gets cut off by Nick. I'll give you one last chance. Join our side by forfeiting your servants or die.
So I'll just still me servant, right?
Correct.
Yeah. No, he's just gonna say, how many people did you fight?
There's a long pause before Archer finally answers you. He's a coward. He called me one, but he ran to his master. Unfortunately, his master was a better fighter than he was.
Dio.
Yes?
Having heard all of that, we can see 6 Ishvaldan soldiers.
Yes, there are 6.
I just learned that Archer attacked Raul's men and that there was big fighting.
Potentially, yes.
From the information visible now, and maybe from the state of the other Ishvaldan soldiers, would Ubel be able to perceive or deduce or something like that that this is just what is left of them? Possibly with how do the soldiers look?
Yeah, I was gonna
Something
say.
like
Do you have knowledge? Oh, actually, I'll allow you to, because they're wearing mechanical armor. Roll me knowledge engineering or lore. Lore engineering.
No! I
Yes!
found a way to use it. Dio, thank you so much.
Oh, no! No!
It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
You cannot.
It
tell.
would have just been for a bit of information,
This
yeah.
happened to me.
You cannot.
Plus 16, by the way.
Yes, you can't. You rolled that one. You can't tell whether or not there are more soldiers or not. You don't know how much damage Archer has done to them.
Okay.
So I was going to say you'd be able to tell a little bit based on the how well these soldiers' gear is. Like if they're all perfect condition, then they might have more soldiers, right? Because these soldiers would be
Exactly,
completely
that's
on
what I was thinking.
But yeah, they're too far away, and you can't tell because you not won.
Yes.
So do any of you say anything? Because Raul wanted to say something, but Nick cut him off and said, join
Yeah.
our side by forfeiting your servants or die.
I guess I'm gonna look between the two of them, and I'm first going to like address her. I'm like, Arya, I don't want to fight you. Also because I think it will be a waste of time for both of us. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here. Haven't you gotten what you wanted? What could you do to do one more fight here in the end?
Yes. See, you've touched upon something that I did not give as a reminder, but Raul, and this was even mentioned to you all by Alexander, the Russian, when he came over to talk to you all. Raul has gotten everything that he'd claimed to want at the very start of the campaign. He had always claimed to want, only ever wanted, the ley line magic, so that he could fuel his weapon of mass destruction. Which, by the way, you don't see it, you don't know where the fuck it is. But apparently he has that fuel. So why now does he care about seemingly the Holy Grail? As Raul pauses and looks over towards you, Elizabeth, his mechanical eye you see blinking on and off multiple times, as if trying to almost like sending communications to other people and or something, as he looks over at you. And he sighs. You are right. However, Nick insisted over and over again that I come here. And besides that, and as I mentioned, he was sharpening his scimitar, so it's already drawn, and he spins it around a little bit as he walks right up behind Nick, kind of looking out at all of you. I am disappointed in all of you. I had thought you all to be the naive hero type, like a car. But at every turn, you seem to betray not only me, but each other. In your confusion and your desperation, you have lost your way. So allow me to give you one final reminder. and with a flash of steel, Noah,
That's me.
blood covers your face.
Mine?
Yes. You
There's
just
not
happen
one
to be-
engineering law is gonna save you.
Blood covers your face. It is not your own blood. At the same time, the quote-unquote Yamada also covers himself with his cloak to not be spurted, as you all see the flash of steel, and then Raul Arya's scimitar is jutting out of his own quote-unquote servant's chest, all the way through his back.
Whoa.
What? Why? They can't win anymore. As Nick says, as he stumbles forward, falling onto his knees and hands and knees into the snow. If we crush them here, you win the Grail. How many times have I told you that? I have made myself clear, again and again. I care not for some poisoned chalice. I will make my dreams come true by my own force of will. If my choice is losing my men in a pointless battle here, or losing you, your service to Ishvalda has come to its end. And Nick tries to stand up. Fire. Bang. You hear all of the soldiers shooting at Nick multiple times. Most of them are blocked as Nick tries to stand up and blocks them all with his invisible barrier, the thing that has blocked you multiple times, and has been an asshole and a pain in your ass multiple times. As most of them, like he get like a couple of them get through, he jerks back as one hits his shoulder, one hits his leg, and he starts charging up magical energy. What do any of you do in this moment?
Yeesh.
Should have chosen the side, motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure most of us are shocked as fuck.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
So are most of you just too stuck
This
to
doesn't
do
know what the
anything?
fuck she's looking at. Yeah.
All right. So
I was busy trying to see. He's been blinded.
Like,
Blo-
she
blocking-
either thought she was gonna talk both of them down, or that
Yes.
a fight was gonna happen. Or that, like,
As you know, you were actually, Elizabeth, you have actually understood Raul Arya better than anyone here. You were like, wait, why are you here to do a pointless battle? Why would we fight this way? And Raul Arya goes, yes, you're right, and then stabbed Nick. And so the Nick tries to stand up. You actually hear him start to cast his double phantasm. You hear him say, "Momento," and then Ryder actually grabs a hold of Noah, who is still wiping off the blood from him, grabs a hold of Ubel. Everyone get down. What do you all do? You have one round.
Liz might be an opportunist, might be a terrible person, but she does love her family. She's going to go for Maria.
All right. You cover Maria. Ryder, by the way, grabs Ubel and grabs who are you rolling medicine on?
Yeah, wait on.
I clicked on it by accident. I'm on the
Okay.
touch screen, okay?
You went to run towards Nick and heal him. I was like,
I
The
didn't know I
accidental
rolled.
wasted net 20.
God damn, that would have been a
I
hilarious
apologize.
nat 20. All right, so yeah,
No,
because Ryder grabs both of her, her masters, grabs Noah, grabs Ubel, and takes them off, jumping far back, almost like a little bit inside of the cave. Yamada should be fine, he's a being of thought. Gaius also runs over, and assumingly most of the Blair family hugs together, trying their best to not die. And Albert casts defensive magic. As the noble phantasm is not what you had to worry about. What do you want to do now?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
In this moment, because he's casting his noble phantasm. Albert, the book.
Albert grabs, he has the book still, and it looks like Nick does not have the book in his hand. He's just reaching out his hand out into like the space in general, and he's casting Memento Mori. Albert nods, he still has the book.
Curious about the noble phantasm.
yeah. I'm curious about the whole, the noble phantasm is what is.
Yeah, like I
Yes.
died
Yes,
to
it
this
is.
noble phantasm, so I'm curious.
Yes, it-
Yes.
The thing is, now that Dio has said that this is not what we have to worry about, I'm just not doing anything.
All right, yes. And so, well, okay, so if you give
Don't
yourself
have
up,
to worry about
Ryder
something.
grabs both Noah and Dubel from like the cuff of the back of their shirts and jumps back. So you two are fine.
Whee!
Elizabeth, roll me fortitude.
Okay. See that? It's not perception. It's not perception.
Yeah. And so you manage to safeguard your family as
Good
best you
job.
can as Albert's barrier cracks from something and the ground shakes almost like an earthquake as Nick goes to cast Memento Mori, and then when he said fire, he did not mean only his men, as from the distance you hear kathunk. And then seconds later, as Nick is casting his Noble Phantasm, you just see his entire right arm, boom, gone. As something too fast for you to even see lands and shakes the ground. You, Elizabeth, managed to shield your family along with Albert, whose barrier cracks from the sheer impact of it. Which my Ryder jumps up into the air, getting you out of the blast radius. As you all see in the distance, one of the cliffs and or mountains that you thought was just, a cliff or a mountain in the distance, slowly begins to move and look up as some sort of giant humanoid figure looks in the distance. Mechanical eyes, the same shade of red as in Raul Arya's left eye, as he stares down towards Nick, who is now crawling on the ground, blood filling the snow, crawling towards you, Elizabeth. Please, make a deal. It is not too late. Nick slowly begins crawling over towards you.
You see, Liz kind of looks down at him, looks up. Fight that? Sorry, Caster. But leaders seem to always find a way to be alone in the end.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
And Nick screams in pain and rage and agony as he slowly, again, just digging his raw hand into the snow, trying to drag himself with the one hand remaining. As you all see, he begins to dematerialize as the mana that makes him up slowly begins to fade away as heavy boots crunch through the snow following him, as Raul Arya slowly, carefully, like a hunter stalking his prey, walks up to his own subordinate. Nicolo, let me ask you, do you know the price of power? And Nick is enraged at this point, looking back and spitting blood, trying to spit blood into Raul Arya's face. And Raul just stares down callously.
Ain't no way we both hit him with a fucking price of power.
Raul specifically looks up towards Ubel, looks over towards Noah, then looks over towards Elizabeth, then back down towards his own servant. Power corrupts all those who seek it. What was once conviction turns into ruthlessness. Insight warps into cunning. It does isolate you from your fellow man, but not because you are better, but because it makes you less human. Raul stomps down onto the stomach of Nick, raises his scimitar. Words like betrayal no longer have meaning to me. I only have my goal and those that stand in my way. So let this serve as a final warning. This is what he said at the start right before he had stabbed Nick in the back. And again, this time he looks up again to the party when he says this. Do not forget yourselves and why you do what you do. And he specifically narrows in on Ubel, repeating something that he had said earlier. Lest you become a monster. And while Nick tries desperately to summon up the strength to cast one final spell, his second arm is chopped off callously as Raul Arya, the Butcher of Nepal, ends Nick's life.
Should have chosen his side, motherfucker.
And then Raul reaches into his coat, pulls out something, and throws it over towards Yamada. He'd said he wanted to see you one last time. I thank you for the things you said. quote-unquote Yamada looks very confused, but before he can ask any questions, Raul turns his back to all of you, coat flapping in the wind, as you see he whistles, makes a command, and then all of his soldiers and the giant mech that he has managed to fuel slowly stand up in the distance. And he looks back towards you all one last time. I pray that we never meet again. Goodbye. Any of you say anything to the Grand General of Ishvalda?
You know,
I
overall, I don't think our business was too unpleasant.
Ubel? You would mention you were... He just nods over towards you, Elizabeth. It seemed like a lot of the time he was specifically staring at you, Ubel, as a continuation of the conversation you had before.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like now Ubel, in this moment, he Raul's words really go through his mind, and he like, this man was right with a lot of things, especially with like turning into a monster while pursuing things. Like Ubel was on the verge of doing that like at least 20 times throughout this campaign, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything, but if their eyes cross again, he gives him a firm nod again.
And with that,
The manliest greeting you could give.
yeah, that one last firm nod, all that Raul Arya does is look away, and all of his soldiers and his men march out. And in the distance, you hear the ground shaking as Raul Arya has gotten what he had wanted and shall now leave. Nick tried to convince him, but what about the Grail? What about the Wish? And Raul just cut his head off as Castor slowly dematerializes into the ground, leaving really only 2 servants remaining. Air quotes 2.
I win.
I mean, technically.
And as Raul disappears into the distance, with leaving you all with power corrupts all those that seek it. Remember who you are, lest you turn into a monster. Elizabeth specifically, you feel the thorns of the rose tighten as they wrap around you a little bit.
Liz kind of looks at him, turns to like Maria, and is like, you know, between me and him, which one do you think is more likely to be saber?
Maria, you can see Maria look over towards the man and look over towards you, and she has, like, for the first time perhaps, she does doubt a little bit. You, of course, she says, but you can roll perception on that if you want to.
Damn. Oh, perception? Ah, yeah, no, she believes him totally. Actually, good perception.
She at the very least, Maria wants to believe that you are better than Raul, but there is a point where it's like, I don't know, man. That's not a car. He's kind of scary.
You see, like, Elizabeth like chuckles. It's like, it was a joke. Come on.
Maria just like stares off. I'm very glad that we did not make him our enemy.
Elizabeth kind of like clicks her tongue. He's like, I can't see you wrong about that.
Ooh.
Still with a hand though.
I know he was a bad guy, but did he really have to chop him into pieces?
Yes, and Castor dematerialized. Like, he is there's nothing that you can really collect or anything from him. His head is just staring at you all as he looks off into the distance, betrayed at the very last by his prince. And oh boy,
I think this might have been the most shocking form of murder I have witnessed over the last 2 weeks. Nevertheless, I think that this big situation should not stop us from doing what we were about to do.
Albert
Mm.
heaves a heavy sigh. I agree.
Still think it
That's-
comes second to the teleport and decapitation, but pretty good.
That's Musuzeme for you, though. Let's
It would
hope.
be interesting to. It would be interesting to see what he threw at you. So
Albert heaves a heavy sigh. Let's hope that there's no more surprises before we end this night. Please, please, please. Albert's praying, just begins praying. As Yamada opens his hand, and you see it is just a small white whistle. And Yamada, quote unquote, air quotes, looks over towards Ubel and shakes his head. I'm not Yamada, unfortunately. I don't know what this is or why it was given to me. He said he wanted to speak with Yamada one last time. Perhaps it was a friend or a memento. I do not know that.
Oh, don't worry. Even I don't know.
Even Yamada doesn't know.
Like I would just imagine like the ghost just like
Yamada's also
disappear. Like
shrugging.
even I don't.
With that,
Yamada's just watching this in 4K. Like, I have no idea.
that is pseudo canon. But anyway, and with that, there are. I will say there is going to be nothing else that is going to impede you. As with Isvalda leaving, there's not much left inside of Musuzeme. And so if you guys start to make the trek, and Yamada does, so if you all follow Yamada, quote unquote, the trek downwards past Nick's dematerializing body, it gives you all time to think and reminisce about things. And the fact that, as mentioned, outside of the Ishvaldans who are on their way out, no one could really stop you anymore. Almost every single one of the servants and masters are either on your side, dead, or gone. All the monastery is entirely gone. Yamada has freed them.
Seen to that.
As he'd said. So all of them are gone. You would help with most of the village to leave. And the ones that remain are still barely there. The United States and the Federancia people have been dealt with thanks to Ubel.
He put them in a wall.
Yes. Fred and the rest of Pandora had given you all of the information that they could, and then they sent you off. Even as you look around, there's not much wildlife that's even here left. Perhaps all that have died and or all that have left and or died in the blizzard, there's like nothing here left. And so you walk slowly in the footprints of the Ishvaldan soldiers and realize that this really kind of is it. There is nothing left to be done here. There is perhaps the giant white wolf, but it hasn't made an appearance in forever. And outside of like a few other NPCs that may be here or there, everything is done. You guys have come so far in this very short amount of time in actual canon sessions. But it has been, I would imagine, even for the characters in character, has felt like an eternity. Like Noah even had that one moment where he spent forever inside of a pocket dimension. So for Noah, it has been like actually years. Because he spent that long time inside of Hephaestus'.
I got a whole new life.
Correct, yeah.
I almost had a wife.
Correct. Noah had gone through all of it. So many people have gone through so many things. Albert had lost his arm, etc., etc. So many of the NPCs.
James had died.
Yes, James literally died and was resurrected. Gaius was resurrected, quote unquote. A lot has happened, and you all have time to reminisce and think about all of that as you slowly but surely, and notably, the snow finally seems to slowly let up, and it's just quiet and calm for the first time since you had got here, really, since the Pandora plane crashed in the middle of Musuzeme. It's just nice.
Will slowly starts to smile again.
You know what?
Especially as he starts thinking about the fact that like this closure point of like once this is done, Musuzeme doesn't exist, the monastery doesn't exist, none of this exists. It's as if it has never existed. Freedom time, bro. It's This is beautiful.
You could think about
You
it
know
all
what?
as just a dream.
He's just gonna look at Noah and Ubel and be like, "Hey, can I borrow your servant for a sec?"
Probably not, if we are being honest.
You still just look at Ryder. You could just ask her.
What do you want?
Sure. Can I borrow you for a sec? Well, I need your little transportation service when I go back to the manor for a bit.
Sure, one final pit stop. As Ryder like snaps her fingers, and as the rest of you are, not teleport, the rest of you are walking slowly, Elizabeth is teleported to the manor. And before we get to that, I will ask, as you guys make, it's a straight shot, no turns, you can't get lost, it's just walking straight down from the cave up here, down to the Scar Grounds. Do one of you say anything to each other as Ryder takes Elizabeth? Anything to reminisce on or talk about as you slowly walk down to what could be your own deaths or the end of this long nightmare?
You know what, guys? I'm very happy that I live. And I'm very happy that most of you guys live.
Albert gives you a very like a kind of like a sad, sweet smile as Albert like puts his hand, the one remaining arm, onto your shoulder. Life is full of challenges and terrible things, but the only way that we can ever get through them is by living to see another day. It may not seem like it, but outside of just this mission, I have seen awful things. I understand the urge to give up, the urge to give in and become the monster that Raul Arya was talking about, the monster that, frankly, he has become. Frankly
Yes.
speaking...
And
Oh, James looks at the rest of the party as though they all go to talk. If it weren't for everyone else here, especially you, Albert, I would have been dead long time ago. I've made many mistakes in my past, but thanks to all of you, and thanks to living another day, even thanks to Yamada, he says, looking over towards quote-unquote Yamada, I've managed to make peace with the mistakes of my past. I thank you all for that, dearly.
Yeah, I think for most of us, all of this might be a big cut-off point from our pasts and the lives we have lived up until now. And if anything, I am unbelievably thankful for that.
Truth be told, Yamada did dislike a lot of you. Quote-unquote, Yamada says, looking over at you. He's leading the way, so we have to like turn around a little bit to look back at you.
Also, it's honesty hour, eh?
He viewed a lot of what you did as betrayal in some small ways. But outside of Elizabeth, I don't think he hated any of you. He saw you all points as friends.
I mean, if we are now gonna be honest about everything, James, I at some point planned on leading you out into the forest and shooting you in the neck, but that was many days ago, so I'm happy that didn't happen.
It's not too late, Maria says from behind you. James just like shoots her a look, but that you can tell it's really hard to tell because of her expression is always so poker face. But perhaps it was a joke this time, Maria. Like you can tell there's a little bit of like a slight smirk, like the tips of her, the corner of her mouth are perked up a little bit.
Maria, you would be impressed. I was even planning on making it seem like the wolves did it to him, and I barely managed to escape. I had an entire plan drawn up.
I don't think I've ever plotted to kill any of you, but I did plot to betray you a couple of times. If the true name didn't work, My only other idea was becoming one with the serpent and then allowing, hopefully, my mind to overpower it. Very dumb idea, but I was at my wit's end at that point. If true name invocation failed, I had nothing left. I'd worked so many years on the perfection of that spell.
Honesty hour, I love it. Noah, were there any secret plans that you had?
Man, I feel so lost. Secrets? It felt more like I was dragged from one thing to the next, if I'm being honest.
You should tell them about the time that you spent years inside of the pocket dimension.
I realized I just explained a brief thing about what happened and Ubal was there, but that was, yeah. You're right. I did spend years inside of. He looks towards that tower over there.
Yeah. As you pass by it.
Hephaestus's. Yeah, Hephaestus's world.
You spent years trapped inside of the dreamland.
Yeah.
To
It felt
be-
almost like I could do things right again. Yet I chose to do the same thing.
In truth, I still don't know if... I don't know if Hephaestus was entirely wrong, James says, just staring out into the distance, staring off towards the tower, the same one that you were looking at. I think that he went about things in the wrong way. Perhaps, if Luvia isn't as insane as he is, his dream can be inherited and picked up. Or at least parts of it.
You know what, Noah? You actually said something really interesting there. You said that you had the chance to do things differently and you chose to do it the same way again?
I mean, just the Pandora part of my life. Except I think I was there earlier, if I remember correctly.
You were was a little bit before you would actually join Pandora, but you got some of the Pandora in there as well.
Yeah. I think the world Hephaestus wanted to make was a great one. I just have no idea how to do it in exactly the right way. At least not yet.
I don't think any of us know what we're going to do after this, do we? I spent so much of my life to extinguishing the curse. I don't have any plans. The only reason I was still in Pandora was because of Hephaestus, who's not dead. James just kind of like aimlessly looks up towards the night sky. You can always join the church, Albert says, looking over towards James. And James like gives him a look of like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest maybe going on a pub crawl or something, but we can do that too.
I'm certain the Vatican would welcome you all with open arms, especially after we return the Holy Grail.
I mean, I have been invited to join the FBI. Or was it the CIA? One of those letter agencies.
No, there's some laughter between everyone. Maria actually speaks
No, I was
up.
okay.
I mean, you do have a way with a gun.
From what I've heard about Americans, I thought that you were gonna be the gun user.
I always liked more of the, when the gates opened, the things that came from there. More of a fan of those.
Frankly, I have been interested in other countries' fighting styles, Maria says. And Gaius and James look over a little bit surprised, as this is the first time, I think perhaps in the entire campaign, that Maria has expressed something that she wanted to do herself other than kill James.
She joined the conversation on her
Correct,
own.
yes. It's just more of like an idle thought as she's just walking, and then she pauses and looks around towards everyone because she sees that everyone's staring at her. Hey, Noah, Gaia says. How much is a plane ticket to America?
I'm never taking a plane again. We are teleporting and or nothing else.
No, Father, I didn't actually mean. Oh, come now. We couldn't stay here forever, right? In fact, I think that you haven't really ever gotten to see Scotland, have you? Gaia says, looking down towards Maria. And Maria kind of like looks a little bit. She's like, I shouldn't have said anything. But both Gaius and James at the very least look at her sweetly, like, no, don't worry about it. We'll buy you a plane ticket. We're going to Scotland after this. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna have a nice family. We're gonna have a nice family outing. Everything's gonna be okay.
Scotland forever.
All right.
You know what remembers how broke he actually is.
And yes,
seems like we're all gonna be traveling together then.
After this, I can certainly pay for the plane tickets at the very least. Albert says. And with that, with talking about what you guys are going to do next and whatnot, finally, as you guys get to the Scar Grounds, it slowly comes into the distance. What used to be a giant crack in the middle of the earth that led down and down, now is a tower, a black tower that is slowly crawling up and up outside of the cracks in the earth, up towards the sky. And I will get back to you as Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
After the feeling of gentle waves, you open your eyes and you are back inside of the Blair Manor. Ryder is standing next to you.
You see, Liz takes a deep breath, kind of fixes her suit, takes her breath, looks at Ryder. How do I look?
You're really asking me about human fashion?
Well, you seem to be very, kind of looks her up and down, interested in the subject, so...
You look fine. There's no right way to look when you're going to destroy the embodiment of despair. I don't think there's a code for that kind of thing.
Idiot. How about confronting your crush? Is that any right way to look for that?
On that topic, I certainly wouldn't know.
Idiot. Well, thanks anyway. As soon as I can walk in.
Are you actually going to confront Iris?
Yep.
Nice.
Dear God. Oh.
Right before you go off to battle, Iris is probably like cleaning up after because everyone had left not that long ago to go towards the caves to begin with. There were still a lot of people, so she's probably like cleaning up the messes and whatnot, moving towels and stuff. And she stops over. Oh, mistress, what?
Hey there.
Are you the only one that's returned? Is everyone else okay?
Oh, we still have something to do, but look, I want you to know this. I am definitely returning, so this is a completely pointless gesture, but I okay, how to say this? Would you like to perhaps go out sometime after this?
Sure, mistress.
I tries to like figure out if like Iris is like just not really understanding what he's saying right now. No, like you know, in like a coffee place, like just the two of us, you know.
Well, I do believe that the owner of the coffee shop in town left along with most of the villagers, but I'm sure, yes, it would be fun. I know how to make coffee myself.
This is funny.
Shite.
And kind of like as you pause and as you're like sitting there, you feel it's not like a shove on your back as Ryder just kicks you in the back a little bit.
Fucking ferryman. He's gonna very quickly take Iris's hand and kiss her on the cheek and power walk out of there immediately.
You see Iris looking at you stunned as you power walk out. And actually, one of the only times Charon has smiled a couple of times in this campaign, but she does, as you were walking out, she does give you a rather smug smile as she looks down at you.
Little lips rolls her eyes.
So confident when fighting down an endless curse that's killed so many people, and yet you turn into a coward in front of a woman.
Well, as I said, I'm definitely going to return, so I'll have many more tries to this.
I can give you tips on how to make coffee if we survive.
That might actually be needed. Yes.
Better advice than what Noah gave you. and Ryder, slowly, if you're ready, and by the way, did you like leave the manor and then you realize that Ryder's going to teleport you out? If you look down, Nameless is missing. The blanket that you had given him gone, and in its place is a small note that just says "Thank you."
That's
Aw.
fair enough then. The other thing I would have maybe done is talk to him. So since he's not here, then Liz is ready to go.
Yep, and yet again, you are taken into the waves and then teleported back to the party. And you, as well, are teleported right in front of the tower, the giant tower that goes up and up and up and up, seemingly melding into the skies itself. The tower's material is of nothing that you have ever seen before. I'd mentioned a couple of times that whenever you're in the Dreamland, especially the ones controlled by the curse, it looks like black marble, but whatever is manifesting in the real world is not smooth like marble. This is jagged, almost as if it has many scales, almost as if the entire thing is made of thousands and thousands and thousands of small serpents. There's no door to this tower, one that you can see really. It just goes up and then melds into the night sky itself. And the cursed energy, the curse that is seeping out of this tower is palpable. It is in the air around you, and you can actually see like the snow itself starting to turn black around it. Any plant life that's there withers and dies as Yamada slowly approaches it. Well, I hope you all have made your peace. This is either where we end this long night, or where we all die. Are you ready? Yamada turns around to look at you one last time.
I'm also there at that point, right?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I'd like to think if there's one thing I've proven throughout this whole shit show, is that I'm ready for anything.
All right.
Noah's gonna look at Honey.
Always remember, Noah, it is okay. If things get bad, we can eat our souls to use time magic.
You know what? I was going to ask you what really completely actually happened in Hawaii, but you know what? Let's just...
So much fire. That's all that buddy says. Gaius like pats James and Albert on the back a little bit before he steps forward. Ubel, do you say anything? Or are you just stepping forward?
So, Ubel, his immediate answer was just smiling and eagerly nodding, and as like the other people are saying something and stepping up, he smiles at them. He is just happy to be here.
All right, yes. As
Hey guys, I'm just happy to be here. World ending curse. I'm here. Thank you. Remember, put in the books.
as because you did not kill Nishio last session, you do not have to figure out how to get inside the tower, because Nishio / Yamada / the curse slowly raises his hand and the never-ending serpents part into a doorway leading into the tower. One by one, go. Give me one moment.
Give me one more what?
I said one by one, you go. Give me a moment.
Oh. When you said give me a, I was like, what? What chick? Huh? Were we dying? Did we live?
As you enter a large, empty tower, the insides, and now actually I should note, as I mentioned, in the Dreamland, a lot of the stuff that was touched by the curse looked like black, smooth marble. Unlike the stuff that's outside, but when you step inside, there's that same dream-like black, smooth marble. But as your feet touch the ground and echo through the empty halls, with 4 giant pillars in every corner of the room. By the way, that's what these are, in case you cannot tell. It is a little bit unnerving to see that something that you had only ever seen in the dreamscape is now slowly entering and eating away at reality, as if dreams and reality are melding together slowly, with whatever the serpent is doing, whatever the shard of the curse is doing. As you slowly walk towards its center, and Yamada slowly puts his hand up. Before he walks all the way over to here, because I'm a moron, he slowly walks over towards Ubel. And he hands Ubel the small white whistle that was given to him. Seemingly, not even Yamada knows what this was for. However, it appears to be some sort of magical relic. If I fail, if it comes to it, as a reminder, all of you must kill me. If you fail to kill me here, then I fear that I will break through the blizzard and infect every last part of humanity. Hopefully it won't come to that, though. As slow...
Ubel looks at the whistle in his hand. Raul said something like he wanted to see Yamata one last time, and then he gave a whistle. A whistle is usually used to call for something, to send out a signal. Is this whistle being used in order to summon somebody?
Potentially. You don't know. You'd have to actually roll me Arcana.
Yeah, I was just narrating his inner thoughts.
Oh, okay.
I am going to roll Arcana, sure.
You cannot tell.
Kaiser,
It's clearly a magical. It's clearly a magical artifact.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
All right, Yamada.
I mean, he's already dead, so
yeah.
you can just use it.
Yeah, as Yamada walks past and go, past Noah, he's gonna say to him, "I did. If I had it my way, we could have just simply been brothers."
We simply what?
Oh, sorry. If I had it my way, we could have simply been brothers.
Okay, I'm not the one in game, so I was just genuinely curious because I lagged out.
If you want to say something though, Yamada, you can.
Honestly, I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
I feel like I don't have anything to say.
To be fair, Noah was talking to both
even-
the curse and Yamada, and I mean, it both counts.
The curse just gives you a smile, nods to you. If everything goes well here, then perhaps your dreams can become a reality. As Yamada slowly, footsteps echoing, walks up the northern end of the tower and outreaches his arms. And now we begin the ending choice. As, especially with the death of Castor, with only 2 servants remaining, I say in air quotes, with one arm, with both of his arms outstretched, he very suddenly reaches his right arm in and stabs himself in the stomach. Yamada does. Doesn't seem like it hurts though. because Yamada's body is no longer made up of the same stuff that yours is. In fact, it just looks like almost like the material that the tower was made out of at the start when you guys were walking in. As Yamada digs around a bit, and you see Albert gasp as in the center of this dark, oppressive, cursed tower, you feel something holy, something divine. As Nishio / Yamada / the curse / all of the souls combined into some hellscape of abomination that Hephaestus created, slowly pulls out the Holy Grail from his stomach. We reach the end of this long charade. Come now. Let this nightmare be over, and let us greet the waking world. I so badly want to see the dawn. Albert, James, assuming Gaius, everyone draws their weapons, and they await. Assumingly, you all do as well?
Yep.
Yes, and...
So,
I have no weapon. I have these hands.
is this is like only this particular shard of the curse, right?
Correct.
Cool. I am waiting to see if the others are gonna make an appearance.
Well, so,
Yeah.
as he says...
Yeah, can I?
Oh,
I just want to check one thing. Can I feel if this feels similar to either of the dream realms I was in before?
sure. If you roll with me or Arcana or Occultism.
You walked into the wrong room, motherfucker.
Walking now.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page.
Walking
Fucking
now.
Liz and like Noah both holding onto their smoking guns, like,
I'd like the answer, please.
I like the answer, please. Yes, but no. It is still a dream realm. You could still use the powers that you have in a dream realm. Yes. However, I say yes, but no, because it seems, as I mentioned, it's bleeding into reality, and almost like a reality marble is enforcing itself upon the world.
and that also means that Archer gets the Giga buff.
Correct. It both enables Noah's powers and Archer's powers inside of this realm.
Where is she?
Good
Get over here.
question. Archer is still missing.
Oh, you want to see Archer? Cool. I got like.
As quote unquote Yamada says, I want to see the dawn so desperately. Please let us see the waking world. Slowly, creakingly, the tower responds, and one serpent from below and one from above, giant, crawling, ugly, shadowy creatures appear. One slowly and cautiously melds out of the ground, melds out of the obsidian, and crawls and slithers over towards Yamada, while the other one slithers out of the walls itself from above you and slowly coils all the way down the tower towards Yamada, towards the Grail. And Yamada looks over towards all of you. Pray that I make it out of this with my consciousness, with my hope. As the last two shards of the curse slowly congeal and combine, as both of those serpent heads reach open their mouths and devour each other, all combining into one singular sphere that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, almost as if it is devouring itself right above the Holy Grail.
Oh.
And the rose tightens.
Is this it? Is this the moment of truth?
This would be, as they are combining right now in front of you, as the last two shards. So this, yes, and Archer, the rose, obviously Archer is pinging you. Hey, right now,
Hey.
let me hijack. I could hijack it all right now. They are combining right now.
Shit, fuck,
Albert,
fuck.
Albert specifically is looking towards the Holy Grail. It is the thing that he had wanted this entire time. He has a hard time not even dropping to his knees. There it is. After all this time, the cause of so much of this madness. Albert says, as he does like a small prayer, does the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit symbol to himself. Ryder materializes her weapons made out of shadow, looks around, keeping a perimeter. Maria draws her weapon. Gaius stands, and Gaius actually, seemingly knowingly, looks over towards you, sword drawn, just waiting. James begin. Ubel and Noah would feel it. James begins to not fully cast, but begin the processes of casting True Name Invocation just in case. Like he ready actions True Name Invocation. And I ask, what do all of you do? And I will start with Ubel and Noah because Liz, yours is the most important one. So what, Ubel and Noah,
I need time anyway.
What do you do for your preparations as all of the world's evils are combining in front of you above the Holy Grail itself?
I precast haste. I precast it. No. I think I just want to full action believe in him, honestly.
Easy.
What the fuck
I
am
think mine
supposed
is.
to do?
I don't know if you have any pre-buffs and or things. You wanted to start pre-casting True Name Invocation? You could ready action, by the way. Because James is ready action True Name Invocation. That's all I was wondering.
I precast gun.
Okay. Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't know. Because essentially, when it comes to this whole true name thing, I'm not really I'm kind of like the backup.
Yes, yeah.
Because I actually just ready action gun.
And notably, you can pre-place yourself anywhere in this room as well. So like you can move around, and I'll do. So Gaius is going to be standing wherever Elizabeth is. Maria is going to be standing like a little bit off here. Albert's going to be in the dead center. Ryder is going to be back over in the corner, keeping the perimeter. So you can pre-place yourselves anywhere that you want inside of this large boss arena. I will be using the entire arena, by the way, if we choose to fight this thing.
Somewhere close to my boys. Right there.
All right, towards the center. Elizabeth, are you staying where you are, by the way?
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, hold up.
Okay.
Like this, more likely.
More like that? Okay.
Because shooting.
We got the trio right at the diagonal. We got the diagonal.
Oh,
I wanted to move, but I wanted to move, but I can't now. We're in the supreme position. One more person.
The
Yeah.
supreme position.
This is a great time, out of all the times now, to ask you, Dio, what does this spell do?
What does it do?
I don't understand what it means by I get a where's the thing? To a maximum dexterity modifier of +5. Do I just get a +1 to AC with it, basically?
Yeah, because are you wearing armor?
No.
Well,
I'm naked.
So you can just ignore that then. Because it counts as armor, and armor has rules where it's the same as 5e actually, where armor has max dex, right? Like if an armor has max dex of 1, then it only counts 1 of the dex points. It's the same thing because it's mystic armor. It's armor, but it's magical. It's summoned armor. So it works over armor rules. But yeah, so you're fine. It would be 1 AC.
I'll take it.
So yeah, you can precast that on yourself and just remember that you have 1 AC. And in fact, it would.
And
last
then my last action,
days.
I hope.
You could just whatchamacallit, you could just add that to your sheet because there's only ever going to be 1 more fight, if any. So just add 1 AC because you'll have it for the entire fight. Okay.
Understood.
Elizabeth Blair, heiress to the Blair family. It all comes down to you.
Mm-hmm. One deep breath. And then she let the monster go. And they lived happily ever after. What sort of epic have you heard that's ever ended like that? And then she lost, and then she died, and then she won. Those are endings. At this point, I'm either nothing, or I am everything. No middle roads. Ah, fuck.
Are you saying this out loud or to yourself?
See, he's saying it out loud.
No way,
As
scared.
everyone is moving apart, preparing. Gaius affirms something and nods to himself and readies his blade. But you see James looking over towards you, a little bit horror struck. Elizabeth, don't.
And she will pull out the rose. You know what? Can I roll above a 10 in perception real quick? Can we see this? You know? Let's
Can we
see
steal?
this real quick. For no reason. Can I roll above a 10 in perception?
You can.
Oh, she's changed.
As she will look at the rose and crush it in her fist.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god, you had me in that first half. Okay.
My servant's gonna be very upset about that.
It was a pretty good speech, wasn't it?
I'm still shaking.
Oh.
All of them, I think, have like a mini heart attack at that point.
Every single person in the party has a miniature heart attack as they all look over
Even I got
towards you.
another.
As you reach up and you pull out a rose randomly that none of them have seen, and then you crush it.
And she would just exhale and like close her eyes and wait.
And no one knew what that was really like. James is still on edge, looking around, waiting for something
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah, because like some magic items you like break it and then they do their thing. So Noah's like
Yeah, yeah.
confused, like, huh? Waiting for like plants to grow or some shit, because that makes sense.
And then, right as all of you are waiting for something bad to happen, Yamada finally returns. The sphere had grown smaller and smaller and smaller until shapes instead into that of a human, or what I say at the very least, a humanoid figure, as all of the shards that remain of the curse combine into one. And there is a brief moment when it looks up towards all of you where you do not know which shard won, which part of the curse won, as it just stares up at all of you. Thank you for believing in me. Truthfully, I did not think that I would make it this far. And in the same way that it had a little bit before, the curse looks down to his own palms, outstretches them, looks around. I thought that one of you would have betrayed me. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing me the chance that was robbed from me so long ago. And Yamada turns to look towards the Holy Grail, and then turns back to you all. I have won. The Grail has been summoned due to how few servants remain. I will take the place as the master. Which servant do you want to get the wish? Ryder kinda just shrugs. Like, she, from the very start, had always mentioned that she didn't have a wish for the Grail. But that would mean the only other servant to give the wish to would be Archer.
Yeah. And that's just like the frog go.
Harry, I think you gotta cross the bridge something, surely. Even if it's just like a piece of cheesecake, something.
Ah, I'll do it if it means that Archer doesn't have to. Charon says, like sighing heavily. As she slowly, like her footsteps echo across the room, and she kind of like looks over towards everyone else. Truthfully, I really never thought that I would be summoned in this war, much less that I ever think that I'd win it. I'd said multiple times I have no wish for the Grail, but I guess it's better than someone else getting it.
Well, if you don't have a wish for the Grail... Wait, do we get a wish and the servant gets a wish, or is this the wish?
It's a master and a servant. So, and Yamada would be taking the place of the master to make the wish that he is human again. And so,
Is it like,
yeah, you have to, yeah, unfortunately, you cannot take the other one if you want Yamada to wish that he's human, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But she doesn't have a wish, and nobody has proposed one, right?
Correct.
I think Noah's just
You
actually.
could, in theory, make a wish through
Yeah,
Ryder.
Liz-
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Noah's
think
just kind of
Liz
looking
might-
at Liz because, like, she wanted to
Wait.
save her family.
If you don't have one, well, you are the ferryman. Any chance you could bring my mom back?
Ryder looks over towards you, and with like a much more genuine smile, looks over towards the party in general. Of course. I was only going to use it for cigarettes anyway.
I feel like listening to that, Liz probably just falls on her knees and starts sobbing because it's like, it was that easy.
Yes, yes,
All of this.
yes.
All I had to do was ask.
Yes, yes.
And
As-
that, ladies and gentlemen, you call it growth.
As
She's in shambles.
Ryder walks
Dude,
up,
no one's gonna join Liz. Fuck it, we ball. Like, you know, the crying type. Fuck it, we ball. Our eyes out.
as Ryder walks up next to Yamada, nods towards Yamada. Well then indeed. As both of them walk over to the Holy Grail and put one hand onto the Grail, and a beautiful golden light envelops the land of darkness. And with the last of the hesitations and worries out of the way, the tower, all of those curses, all of those sadnesses and souls that have been trapped for so long, slowly begin to peel away along with the night sky. And for the first time in what feels like forever, as the tower begins to fade away, as the sky begins to fade away, you all see the sun. It was really that easy, Albert says, just like he also is like there's like a shock that goes through most of the party, I assume. As very slow, like the power of the Grail activates, and all of you are overwhelmed with a amazing feeling of positive energy as holy and divine magic fill all of the land of Musuzeme and wipe clean the curse that has been on this land for centuries. As Rocco's basilisk cease to exist, and there only remains the man.
It was that easy. Oh my god. The relief.
And Yamada turns around to look at you, no longer having the cloak, just a person, no longer even a homunculus, but an actual human being. And actually, in the very last moment, Hera,
Yeah, I'm still here. Don't worry.
You, even in your last of moments, are betrayed, quote unquote. As you, in the inner recesses, as you feel all of the other souls that made up the curse slowly evaporating and turning to nothingness, and you feel yourself a little bit starting to fade away, you feel a hand grab a hold of you as you see your brother, quote unquote, the curse, the only one person that had always stood by your side, grab a hold of you and yank you back into your own body. As in the actual human body, Yamada, you open your eyes. As you still feel the consciousness of the curse in the back of your mind, but he has pulled you to the forefront here.
Noah's like touching himself, like, am I dreaming again? Do we?
No, okay, shit.
You weren't prepared for this. You thought you were gonna have a nice little session where you.
I was actually okay. I had a plan for this where like he sacrificed himself to revive me, but the fact that he's still here,
Yes.
I didn't expect that.
It
I
is
didn't
the wish.
expect
It's
that.
the wish
So.
of the Holy Grail. Through that, anything is possible, and likely you'll be able to switch back and forth with him now. You have managed to coexist entirely inside of a human.
Yamada
body.
just.
Guys, remember when we were saying who is the main villain? That was the biggest twist. No one was the main villain. There wasn't a main villain.
It was us. We were only causing problems for ourselves. No.
Okay, I guess. Okay, shit. I didn't plan to like actually like
Yeah.
play today.
To be fair, this is very accurate. Like I assume Yamata would
Yeah,
also just
would
be
also
stunned.
just
of
not.
me.
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Noah's
would probably
gonna.
just like look around and just like touch his face again, like, wait, what? Why am I here?
You made the wish, right? And Noah's gonna start walking up towards him.
I was dead. Like, wait. As
Yamada?
like Yamada is trying to communicate with like the curse.
It's still
in his
there.
mind.
Yes, and all that you see, all that you feel actually in the back of your mind, in the same way that you'd always shared emotions with your servant, with the curse, you feel in the back of your mind the curse just like smugly, kind of like gently give you a shove to like make you stand up. Like, go on.
Okay. Okay. Can I communicate with it? Like,
Yes,
like back
yeah.
then, or like no?
Yeah, you can, yes.
As he hear like as he realized like he's still there, he like sighs. He like sighs of relief and just like looks around. That fucking curse, I guess.
My
That
father.
curse.
In the back of your mind, and only you hear this, Yamada. My father once liked to say, through magic, all things are possible.
Who said that?
The
Wait, who
curse.
said-
The curse in the back of your mind.
I didn't expect you to do that. like Yamada is not even saying that like in his mind. Yamada is like saying that out loud. Like, I did not expect you to do that. You didn't even give me like you didn't give me like my rest.
Yep. He betrayed you at the very end.
I'm.
as like Yamada smiles. Okay, I mean he already smiled like multiple times, but like yeah, he smiled like just like, God damn it.
Elizabeth, you are yanked backwards by large burly arms as your father picks you up, picks Maria up, somehow grabs James still, and runs over towards a very confused Grace Blair, who is just sitting down in the middle of the snow as the tower begins to fade away. Wow. And she like looks over towards Yamada, very confused about how both of them are still alive, as Gaius forces all of the Blair family into one big hug. You fucking idiots. You goddamn lovable idiots. Gaius says, Gaius is sobbing. Look at that. Everything managed to work out in the end. Very unlike
Man.
Hawaii, Honey says, still attached to your back. Noah?
Man, this is beautiful. So I'm confused. You sound like you're confused. Your mother? I don't. Huh.
I guess. I guess I am. As like Yamada looks at his hand and as he tries to summon an icicle spear.
So, very notably, it works, but it is a lot weaker than what it used to be when you were a homunculus.
I guess as like Yamada tries to grab it and like shake it around like, yeah, I guess I'm back. Why?
You're actually Yamada, aren't you? The damn curse actually kept to his word. He wasn't the bad guy. Albert says, like, looking off into the distance.
Welcome
Hello?
back, Skodak.
Oh, okay, what did I miss? Oh,
I just
no,
having-
it was basically just like
I
me
mentioned,
testing out if I still have the ice.
I didn't notice you were gone. Elizabeth, you were pulled into a massive group hug as Grace appeared, and Gaius dragged every one of the Blair family into a group hug and said, "You goddamn idiots, you lovable idiots," and started bawling as he grabbed all of the Blair family
I'm so
together.
fucking.
Yeah.
Liz is like, fully into the up.
Yes, yeah. Off
As
in the
like-
off in the distance, Ubel. So one person actually is missing a little bit. As often in the distance, you see Ryder, or what appears to be Ryder, as the tower starts to fade away. You see her wave over towards you, Ubel. But then you realize that it's a wave of goodbye as Ryder turns around, and one last time, as she goes to put a cigarette up to her mouth, disappears into water.
Yeah, Ubel has been smiling at this entire thing. Like, this is just like, this is genuine happiness. And as he sees that, he also like he smiles at her, and he also like does one wave with his hand, like you know, this like 2-finger salute from his forehead.
Yeah.
That one.
And in your mind, as you can feel her presence dissipating, see you around. And both you and Noah actually hear that. You don't see Ryder Noah off in the distance, but you do hear Ryder just say, "See you around."
And Ubel
Man.
says out loud, "See you around, Carrie. The boat will be shaking."
I have one last thing if you guys don't have anything else left.
Sure, go ahead.
Well,
Go on. No, Squark, you go first because like this is just like
okay.
maybe
Think
I wasn't
Liz
like
is
interact
gonna,
with
like-
anyone else.
After like the hug is done, she's gonna like, oh, just a moment. She's gonna go to Noah actually. Hey,
Yeah.
we're still worried Archer might do some shenanigans, right?
I mean, what can she do at this point?
Well, anyway, just in case, you're going to take that last command seal and you're going to command her to do this. And I'm gonna DM both of you what she says to him.
Can I still feel Archer?
Yes, very unlike Ryder, who almost seemingly broke the pact on purpose, like just like fades away. Archer, you can still feel vaguely in the off of the distance doing something.
And you see, as she says that, she pulls back with a little bit of like a smug smirk, and it's like, "You should be thankful. I would have used it to win the war."
Are you sure that's a good idea? It's gonna make her mad at us in the long run.
Man, she's already mad at us.
I don't even know how to word this when I do it, by the way. What the?
You can give me the gist of it. Because I understand the gist of it. So I won't make you in the final hour. Be very careful with the wording.
Oh no, you fucked! You didn't use the Oxford comma.
Yeah. So
You didn't
just
use
tell
the
me,
extra
are
comma,
you
no.
going through with it or not? Because you still have to do it because you still have the command skills for Archer, or the command seal for Archer.
It would help in action. So, while he wouldn't want to do this exactly because it feels like a thing against her, it would help to have her, if she is going to stick around, that to help understand the dreams and the dream world that Hephaestus was trying to make, to maybe do something cool with it and not just force people into it. So, it's a command of full obedience.
So is that what? Yeah. So is that what you're going to do? The command of full obedience or no?
Yes.
Okay. So you use your last command seal, the last command seal used in the entire campaign, to order Archer to be fully obedient. And as mentioned with the Skorak's plan, normally a thing this vague would not have worked, but because she is a fae and always has to stay true to her word, if she says that she will be fully obedient to someone, well then she must be fully obedient. And as you use that last command seal, wording it in a way that would actually work, Archer, in your mind, does have to give you the promise that she will be fully obedient towards you, Noah, from now on. You're right, cunt. I do appreciate the lengths that what you've done to backstab me, though. Very interesting idea, you fuckers. Archer says, as unlike Ryder, she materializes and steps forward towards you.
Yeah. Love you too, Archer. I was like, Liz only gives him a big ass grin.
Fine. Whatever. You took everything that I'd wanted, but that doesn't mean that I won't get another chance in the future to get what I want.
Read. And until then, for that nature preserve we're funding, what would you want the specifications to be?
Archer looks over towards you, like she'll look like a little bit surprised that you're not fully betraying her, as you're like, yeah, we're going to set a nature preserve and whatnot. Archer like opens her eyes a little bit. I do like roses.
As Lisa gives her a nod and goes back to her family.
Oh, and for you two, we never did see eye to eye. Can't really when I'm crazy. She says with a smile. But considering our long future that's going to be ahead of us, I'm not Oberon or Titania. I'm not any of the ruler of the Fae, to be honest. Everything was a lie, an illusion.
I figured.
Archer.
Noah suddenly points at her.
Archer is slowly, her body slowly like dissipates and disappears as just a small little pixie, a small little fairy with little butterfly wings floats over around Noah. You can call me Puck.
Lol.
Holy shit! That's
No, it's just like Legend of Zelda. What have you
Get a
done?
fly swatter. Get a fly swatter.
Hey, listen!
Hours
Yeah.
of research wasted.
Noah is gonna say, well, it's nice to meet you.
the little pixie nods and then seemingly disappears. But you can still feel Archer vaguely next to you.
This is one way. It was all just so Noah could cast Find Familiar. That's what the whole campaign was for.
And with that, I ask, as the sun fully starts to rise, as the dark sky, the never-ending night of Tibet slowly ends, as all of the enemies are either dead, defeated, or turned into allies, I ask of you, is there anything else that you guys want to do?
Mr. DM, I got something.
Oh yes, I had remembered, yes. So, what do you want to do, Yamada?
Now you guys put me on the spot. Now it feels awkward, but anyway, it was genuinely just like a continuation of that, but because like, yeah, Spark just like spawned in.
Yeah, so what?
mid.
Do I still have some?
As yet, like, okay, let me get into the mood. Hold on.
Wait, do you still have the
As
what? Sonny?
Yamada, like, no, I mean like,
The whistle.
Oh yeah.
no, it's not even about that. It was just like, anyway, as Yamada like looks at his hand again and just like, and he just starts to fuck English, and he just like starts to, okay, what's the perfect sob, cry? Yeah, you guys choose whatever. Sob, I guess. Yeah, it's just like he starts sobbing as he tries to cover his eyes. Like, fuck, I can't act. So, whatever.
It's been a while,
Yeah, just say what you
Why
want
me?
to say. It'll be
Why?
okay.
Why me? I don't deserve this one. You can tell he's grateful for it, but he at the same time he doesn't get it.
huh? And James, of all people, actually, kind of walks over towards you, straightens his glasses that have been broken many times over the campaign, then looks down at you. You've done terrible things, but I know better than anyone here that you can make amends for that. The only way you can make amends is by continuing to live. And James reaches out a hand towards you, Yamada.
As Yamada stop uncontrollably sobbing, I guess you could say, he moves his hand from his face and he looks at James as he takes as he takes his hand. As he, I guess, stands up now at this point.
Yep. And with that,
I have one last thing. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay, no
Sorry, I have one last thing. As he looks at James, as he with the other hand punches his guts.
yeah, you punch James at the very end for everything that has happened. And with that,
He's still sobbing, but he just looks at him like, that's for throwing me off the cliff.
and with that, after everything, after the entire campaign, after I thought for sure that I spent like a half an hour to an hour reviewing the final boss fight because I thought for sure we were gonna have to do it. We will end on the good ending. We will end the campaign and this session of Tibet. The curtain.
You call it
falls.
the good ending. Noah has to deal with Honey and Puck, two fairies,
You're
basically
haunted-
floating
you're
around.
haunted for the rest
You
of your
understand
life.
how? Fuck.
Two fairies
There should
and
be
a
like
homeless man from Tibet. I'm gonna be walking behind you now.
Oh, and my damn stupid cursed brother, or the two of them. I don't know. I think they're twins. I don't...
there have to be like another scene where just like Noah and Yamada just like fix the family tree and just like chart it out like okay so this is new and this is here.
Oh yeah, no one got a whole family. Gorak
Hello.
and Elizabeth finally learned her lesson at the 11th hour and got her whole entire family together. And as you said, like,
Yeah.
it was that easy. You got everything that you ever wished for by
Yep.
not doing what you, because you were like, I have to do this in order to get my mother back, because the only way. It's like, all you had to do was just ask Ryder, because Ryder didn't have a wish. You just had to just go, can you please resurrect my mom? And Ryder
Bro.
goes, sure.
I can't believe
that
this happened
easy?
because he had all the 15 on perception. Oh, sorry, he had 18.
Yeah, no.
I don't fucking know.
19. No, if she rolled below a 10 on perception there, and the odds were quite high, I would have gone. I would have literally done what I said to fucking Risu. I would have called in Archer, used my command seal to make the whole fucking like trade thing, because at that point I was gonna be like, hey, I did the thing, let's make a contract, and I was immediately going to fucking backstab her, and I don't know what we would have done from there.
Yeah, Raul got everything that he had wanted as well. Raul's just like, I do love Raul's character, I will admit. I do love that Skorak was like, wait a minute, why are you here? And Raul's like, don't worry, fam. You know me. You know me better than anyone. I don't give a fuck. I've told you over and over again I don't care about the Grail. Nick wouldn't shut up about it, so I'm gonna decapitate him in front of you.
Public execution, holy shit.
So I love how we call it the good ending, where Raul has just left the area and is causing World War
Yeah,
III in the
correct.
background.
Yes. Let's not talk about
Yeah,
the greater implications.
it's not our problem.
Let's not talk
It's
about
not
the
our
greater
problem.
implications of Raul getting what he wanted.
Look. It's
Also,
not our problem.
let's go. Liz is absolutely going to pester Rebel to admit that he was wrong about her.
Olivia and Lydia looking up towards the sky, realizing that they get to survive and get to be free thanks to Ubel. Ishan in the house somewhere, tied up to the radiator. Like, please don't forget about me, guys. Guys, I can't untie you.
I go all the way over there. I untie Luvian. I forget about him.
They all forget
I
about
will
Ishan.
say-
He's tied to the radiator.
Fuck, I just
There
realized
is
something. I
one
need to
thing-
find Ling.
Correct, Ling is still somewhere, yes.
Yeah. There is one thing that's kind of sad. Akar did kind of die for nothing. We never used the fucking coin.
Correct.
I was
Yes.
expecting to use it in this fight. I'm not gonna lie.
You would have. I will say, there's a very high chance you would have had to. This fight is brutal.
I will
Yeah.
also say, like, the one of the reasons Ubel didn't want to use a coin on Akar was specifically because Akar died on his own terms.
Yeah,
Like, it wasn't because he thought we were going to use the coin on somebody else. It was just like a general kind
no,
of thing.
that's what Lydia said as well. Was that Akar died doing what he had wanted, right?
Exactly.
That's like what he had always wanted. Who was Saber? We'll get into that in the Q&A, but I'll answer. The reason that Saber wasn't summoned was not because of a role, it was because of Nameless. It was because of Nameless. Saber does not exist. Nameless counted as Saber because he was too close to being it. And another reveal, as it were, at the end of this, when we're getting into the Q&A a little bit, Nameless was the Guardian. Nameless was the dog.
Nameless was the wolf?
Yes. Nameless
Wait.
was
So
the
we
wolf.
were right. The wolf was Saber because the wolf was nameless and he was Saber.
Lol.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
So
fucking
the
stupid,
saber
bro.
actually exists.
Correct. The Saber, quote unquote
What?
Saber, was blocked because of the wolf's existence, because the Guardian had been on this land, and because the Guardian's job is to protect the towers and to protect the whatchamacallit, to stop the curse from ever being set free. But he trusted you all to do what you were doing. During that boss fight, by the way, the Guardian was going to come in. I already had it down on the whatchamacallit, on the GM layer. The wolf would have been a part of that if you had chosen the path of war, and would have been a part of the boss fight. That would have been Saber's
our
reveal in the
side,
final
right?
session. Yes, on your side. Yes, he would have been fighting against the
Okay.
curse.
You know what would have been funny? Since it didn't happen, you just let the fandom speculate about which one of the three possible sabers it was.
I could have, yes. But yeah, I would say, the canonically, the reason why Saber was never actually summoned was because of the Guardian, which had been here since forever. It kind of like blocked the summoning of the whatchamacallit, of Saber, and so the strongest servant never actually got summoned. It was a big dog. Big dog was too cool. The girl was like, damn, it's a cool dog.
That's a good boy.
This
That's
is
a good boy.
this is an insane callback. But when you said in the pre-session in session 0 that Saber is a 6-star, you were fully joshing us.
Correct.
You were fully.
We never rolled perception on Dio.
Yeah. Well,
I just
felt
realized
anyway.
something. Yeah.
And I mean,
I just realized something.
to some extent, well, no. Yeah. We'll get into that more in the Q&A if you want to, but anyway.
Fucking hell.
Dio, if you want to, we can act out an alternate reality where we just entered the boss fight and fight.
You do the
It's
boss
fate
fight.
after all. Everything is canon.
Yeah, it all like this is Stay Night, and then this is this is 3-day, and then we'll have the one where Liz shoots him in the back called It's Stay Night because it stays night.
Lol. This
That's
is not
really
Fate Stay
funny.
Night, this is Fate Make Day.
Yeah.
I really like that in Fate Stay Night because it stays night. I can't fucking believe that's so stupid. I fucking love it. Oh god, that's so funny. Re-choose the mission to play the bad end. Perhaps if you all want to, I could, but that's only if you
No.
want to. Okay, I was about to say because
Yeah,
it's a
thank you.
long boss fight. That's what I was going to say. It had to be its own whatchamacallit, its own session because Jesus Christ, there are 4.5 phases in that entire fight, and
Jesus Christ.
oh god.
I can't believe it. We won. We won Tibet.
Yes, you won.
I just
Yeah.
realized
Dio
something.
Dio just asked us the one thing since the very beginning to talk to each other, and it worked.
You know what's fucked up? I just realized something. Daigo wished for Yamada to live, and he ended up living.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Daigo is one of
God
the
is a
winners.
wish.
We need to make a list of like which character technically won and technically lost, even if they died or whatever.
Yeah,
like-
winners and losers of Tibet. We should do that like a tier list.
Chat
You
can
know?
do that. Chat can do that. Chat can definitely do that.
Yeah, true.
Oh.
There we go, Chad. That's your homework for
I
today.
get-
For
I guess
for the
epilogue.
finale
I guess
Tibet.
epilogue time or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, no,
That's
but-
right. This
Alright,
was the
now-
chillest session.
This was the chillest
True.
session.
This was the chill session.
It really was. Like apart from the time Nick was stabbed, maybe, but other than that, like it was very calm.
No, I mean that is really chill. It's like cold.
It's definitely going into like F tier of like losers of Tibet.
Yeah, besides the point where Raul got tired of Nick asking to hit the grail and decided to make an example out of him.
Actually, that is a good question. That I need to ask. Hephaestus was taken by the curse. The curse doesn't exist anymore.
Right, the Hephaestus was allowed to disappear. His soul was allowed to dissipate into the
Oh, okay,
cycle.
'cause
Of,
Okay, we made him okay, cool.
all of
May
the,
he rest in
all
peace.
of the souls that were trapped and made up the curse just dissipated and rest in peace. So both Daigo and Hephaestus do get to actually rest in peace.
We killed 2 immortals and revived another one to live a life with a family.
Yep.
Yeah, I got dragged back.
Yes, you did. Yes.
I got dragged back. I got dragged back because I was nice to the curse.
Correct. Because at the end of the day, as I said, I think before, Hephaestus, somewhat Lucille, and whatchamacallit, and Daigo are really the main villains of the campaign. The curse itself is kind of just like a force of nature that never wanted any of this to happen. Like, it's just like, it's an unfortunate victim in all of this as well, and learning that is part of the campaign. Learning that the curse kind of, well, I can't say the curse did nothing wrong, it kind of did a lot of wrong, but on accident. It did a lot wrong on accident.
Oh, this is all I was raised to do. Ooh.
Exactly, yeah. And so once once Hephaestus and Daigo had been killed around like 3/4 into the campaign, it was mostly just about whether or not we could forgive the curse or whatnot. Whether or not we could stomach forgiving something that had caused so much pain and misery. But that's the only way to break the cycle, is to forgive. Because if you continue the cycle, there's just more hate and hate again and again and again and again and again. Oh.
I will say, at the end of the day, I think Liz might be a little more willing to forgive the curse than she is Yamada. Because Yamada did just crash up and kill a bunch of fucking people.
He did
But,
crash
you know-
out. Yamada crashed out. But to be fair, so did
It's
James.
okay. We'll put him to work in
Yeah,
in the Fey farmlands.
And
There's,
so,
there's,
yeah,
there- there's probably like a scene. There's probably like a scene where like Yamada just like, walks up to Liz like, "Hey, so
listen, as James also crashed out and killed a whole bunch of people on accident. So, you know, James says that we need to find it in our heart to give second chances.
They both going to
Okay.
that ice field.
hey, first of all, this is your brother's fault, not mine. He started it."
No, Liz does not
Wait
have
a
her.
minute.
Liz does not have her
Did
own
we
body.
ever burn it? If we didn't, it's still there.
Correct.
Like,
yes.
You burned it.
I-
You burned it.
Yeah.
You gave it to Archer, I think. Yes,
Yeah.
you did. You gave it to Archer, so it's still around, but you don't have currently your own body. But because now Archer is obedient to you, you can just move your soul back to the body because the curse is gone.
True. So I guess we could just get back to her own body. You know,
So I guess
And
nothing
yes,
changed.
she's probably gonna do that.
The coin is still there, yes, because Charon it just went back to the river Styx. So Noah still does have the power to resurrect anyone.
So what
Ah.
can you
He's not
can you
gonna
give me the
use
coin?
that?
No,
And
no,
Nick,
can you
what-
give me the coin?
What do you want to do with it?
Yeah.
Trust me, it'll be so funny.
Ubel will
Uh,
give the whistle to Yamata, in case that matters at all. Because that was
Okay.
originally his.
Yeah, and just in terms of epilogue, it were if you ever end up blowing the whistle or finding out what it is, it was Berserker. I kept saying 2.5 service left because Nick had
Oh.
trapped Berserker.
Yes.
Yes, and so the whistle summoned Berserker one last time, and Berserker wanted to thank Yamada for those for that moment that he had with him when they were underground right before Lucille got fucking sniped at the banquet. So Berserker would have just said something along the lines of "I'm done running away from myself," etc. And that could have been hell, correct? Berserker, yeah. So you could have summoned Berserker for the final fight as well. But this time you could just summon Berserker, and he puts like a hand on side of on Yamada's shoulder.
What could have been? Holy shit. Yeah,
Yes.
this was like, you know,
Yep. And yeah, so Berserker would have just put a hand on your
I
shoulder,
am happy
Yamada,
with how it ended.
and would have just said, "I'm done running for myself. I'm glad that you are as well." And then Berserker would have finally disappeared, accepting that he is Don Quixote.
No.
Damn.
Damn.
You know what? We're gonna do that. Hold up.
But we
Yes,
don't
it's,
need to- we
it's
don't need
something that can
Well, yeah.
that can
No, I
happen
mean,
as the credits are rolling already.
yeah,
It's
so,
like
yeah,
it's also
actually,
like
so,
the
yeah,
visuals in the
yeah,
background.
It's probably just
Where
like
am
the
I now?
epilogue, yeah.
Actually, yeah. So,
It's like, where are they
Yeah.
now?
I mean, if you
as-
guys wanted, sure.
So as the session is ending, as the Blairs are moving back to their manor, as the sun is now rising up into the sky, the magic on the relic activates as Berserker Don Quixote finally does actually appear. And as he appears, it's not as like a cowboy or whatnot. It is of an old man with a whiting beard, kind of small, not that strong looking, in a fake plasticky suit of armor. As he looks over towards you, Yamada, as most of the other people that kept it are like amongst talking themselves. Noah's probably talking to his two spirits that are with him, Ubel following behind him, etc. And you're standing there at the base of what used to be the tower, as Berserker looks over towards you. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted to thank you for what you told me before the banquet. And Berserker like looks over towards you, fully looking at you this time, and he looks at you with much more honest, like it seems like the madness is gone, at least for right now, and he is just an old man. You cannot
Well,
run
you
from
know,
your
yeah.
path. I've accepted who I am, accepted who I've always been, and before I go on to the next dream, I want to tell you, Yamada, you cannot escape your past. You cannot ever truly run from it. The things that you have done will always be with you. The most you can do is accept who you are and move forward.
Yamada smiles at him as he like puts one of his hand on his shoulder, as he like looks on a bit like, Well, since we're saying this, to be fair, the only reason why I talked to you before was because I wanted to recruit you as like my servant.
You made a good choice. I was the strongest servant here. After all, who could stand against the Grand Lancer Don Quixote? He says, as you see, he actually does. As he is literally dematerializing, you see him use his noble phantasm one last time and summon a small little pony that he hops up onto and gets out a toy lance and a toy shield. And let us not get it twisted. Even if they are nothing more than windmills in the distance, life is what you make of it. Even if others look upon you as an old crazy man who has done nothing in their life but copy others. Or, and he looks down at you, a murderer who has killed hundreds. In your eyes, you are the one telling your own story. So you might as well tilt at those windmills. Because in your story, they may as well be giants. Hi-ho! And he snaps the reins on the little pony, and the pony neighs as he rides off into the distance while literally disappearing.
That is that is one hell of a speech to give on the back of a small pony. Oh my god.
Yamada is like he tries to scream, and he's like he just tried to like, you sure you don't want to stay here?
Stay here. This place cannot hold me. I am on to grand adventures. And off in the distance, you do see the tower that Hephaestus had. It somehow, some way, according to Berserker's will itself, he has turned that tower into a windmill, and it slowly is spinning off in the distance as he gallops towards it. Toy lance raised towards the sky.
Damn. Holy shit.
Does
By the
the
way,
curse say anything?
What a crazy man. That's all that the curse says.
Okay, so I doubt that this would ever actually happen, but just in case, Liz is gonna say to Noah, hey, if you're not gonna use that coin for anything, I was kind of thinking maybe using it to resurrect the girl whose body I was using, just as a little like, hey, thank you and sorry for using your body.
Can I?
He looks at Liz, and he takes the coin, and he gives it to her. Oh, do you need me to do it because you're in the body? I thought this. Okay.
No, yeah, no, that's yeah.
I mean, you can just your family. You know, there's a lot of you. You guys can figure this out. But thank you for everything.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, I think you might have helped me more than I did help you. You know, I will never admit this ever again, but if you weren't there, this whole thing probably would end with me as dead, and a murderer, a tyrant. So, yeah, thanks.
I was gonna start crying. I was useful.
Oh, you were more than useful. Hey, you know, now that Maria wants to travel the world, you know.
He's gonna look over to her. She still kind of scares me.
Is that really such a bad thing?
He smiles.
She's got
I
a
have-
him on the back.
I have a lot of things to do now, weirdly enough. When we were walking towards this place, I had nothing. I couldn't think of who I was. But now, with what Hephaestus left behind, with what Archer wants, or Puck, sorry, I'm gonna be very busy.
You know, take good care of her, or else he's gonna stab you in the back. And you know, the fascinating thing with that is that she could be talking about Maria or Archer.
I'm so confused, Ubal.
Actually, Ubel, as you're walking away, James puts a hand on your shoulder. Ubel, I think that I remembered that Russian man saying you owed him some fishing practice.
Yeah, there was something like that.
I'd always wanted to learn fishing, so if he really is your friend, then perhaps you could tag along with me? Or I could tag along with you. Nothing else to do.
You know, absolutely. Actually, I think, honestly, I might have to sit down and make a bucket list of things to do. Because for the first time in my entire existence, I am just completely free. I mean, how many people can say that they have fulfilled their destiny at the age of 20? I still have a couple of years to live. I can actually just like... It actually just doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want now.
We're finally free. Free of our past, free of our responsibilities. Ah,
Yamada like walks up to you guys and just like puts like one of his hand and like his head, just like scratching it, like confused, like, hey, this is kind of awkward. Like there's a long pause as he just tries to like figure out his words as he like looks at all of you, like.
you want to come fishing with us?
Sure, but that wasn't what I was about to ask. I was gonna ask about where's Ling? Do you guys have you guys seen him?
He probably left with the rest of the villagers to safety. I'm sure he'll be running back as soon as he realizes the blizzard is gone.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Dio.
Hmm.
I still have the sending stone, right?
Yes.
As he like realized for a bit, he just like looks at them with like a excited smile, I guess. He just like wait a minute as he pulls out the sending stone. He like holds it.
And so the sending stone that had been given to you by Daigo and had been a awful whispering in your ear for so long is now a symbol of hope as you ping it, and it seems to be too far out to actually communicate with the other one. But I will say this at the very least, Yamada, it does ping another sending stone far to the east by now, and when it pings, it is too far to actually communicate. But you feel the sending stone stop and then run towards this direction very quickly. It's too far to communicate. It's like a signal. Yeah, so you can't actually talk to him, but he is coming.
Yeah.
And
he smiles as he like looks at him. Well, I guess he's coming back.
Yes. And in the back of your mind, Yamada, you hear the curse in a very similar way that you had felt when it was nothing more than Ouroboros to you, nothing more than Avenger. You hear the curse in the back of your mind, and you can feel, looking up towards now the day sky, you know, there's going to be a lot of sins that we have to pay for, but I don't regret beating you. And also, while the moon certainly was beautiful, I think that I don't mind the sun either.
Well, if I had a choice to do all of this again, honestly, I might take it. I mean, meeting you as well, so. What's your wait? What's your name now? What should I call you now?
You would wanted more time. I don't think you ever gave me his actual name. It was up to you. But you remember you named him.
Honestly, I gave him the name with like just like vague thing, and so as Yamada just like shrugs, like, we'll figure it out.
And with that, curtains actually fall upon the land of Tibet, as everyone seemingly it's an actual happy ending, or at least the people that are still left. John Tibet. All right. Oh man, what a campaign! That's it.
So we're gonna leave the where are they now for the Q&A then.
Yeah, we can leave that for the Q&A. You can ask the questions towards the players to ask them like whatchamacallit, like what do they think their characters would be doing, etc. They have a week or however long it takes us for it to get the Q&A. Please, March. Anyway, so, like ask them questions about like, hey, what is Noah, etc. And they have a week to think about it or whatnot. And I know I have so many fucking questions that I have to answer in the Q&A, but that's for
good luck
later.
with that, man.
That's for later. There's a whole goddamn document for me.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm pretty sure nobody has a question for me because like they thought I was dead. So chat,
Don't worry.
y'all got
Chad
1
has
week.
a week. Yeah, Chad has a week to think of any questions that you want to ask any of the players about their characters, and or we can add more to the document for questions for me, because I know for a fact I have a lot of questions, because I have a whole bunch of information about like what could have been. Like even if
What
Chad
if
had
I
this-
have a question?
If chat, I mean, you could also ask me questions, yeah. Because even chat had, if you hadn't asked me that question, you would have never known that whistle at the very end was supposed to be Berserker, who wanted that last moment with Yamada. There were so many what ifs inside of Tibet because of the way that it's set up. There are an infinite amount of what ifs and things that were never went on to be truly explained. But that's just how the campaign is set up in the very similar way to how, like, for example, Fate Stay Night was set up. How you, in any one singular arc or ending, you do not ever really get the actual insights into everything that's going on.
I will say though, like, in the same way that probably everyone was feeling, especially when it ended, I still don't believe that it's over. I think there's a boss fight coming next week, and you're gonna surprise us.
This is what I was thinking too. Like, this does not.
Yeah. Bro, next week is literally going over with, hey guys, welcome to the Q&A session. Roll for initiative.
I could feel like that everyone was so tense because they're like, no, it can't be that easy, right? It can't just be over. We can't just like trust that the curse was telling the truth and was real, and then it's true, and you guys just get the happy ending.
Can I ask a little early question?
Sure, what?
So the thing that it said about, oh, there's a small chance that it won't succeed, did that, like, was that a thing? Like an action? Did you, like, roll for
Yeah,
that?
yeah, it was. No, it was.
Oh, okay.
I rolled for it.
So if it rolled like a not one or some shit, we would have had to
It was
fight
a
it anyway.
D100. You guys rolled 46, so you're fine. You had to get
Okay,
the numbers 1 through 10, and if you got numbers 1 through 10, then it would have started to go bad, and you guys would have had to try to figure out a way to fix it.
Oh, cool.
Like Archer, if she got her wish.
Yeah, but so you guys are fine. So there was a small, tiny chance that he was not able to actually consume the other parts of the shards. Thankfully, it was mostly thanks to Yamada's memory and the curse holding strong
Fair
onto
enough.
his hopes and wishes that he whatchamacallit. Yeah,
Y'all
1
should
to
thank
10,
me.
the rest of the serpent asserts dominance. Y'all should thank me. Yamada says, standing on the corpses of all of his
Okay. I'm just gonna say this like this one last thing as well, since Risu already gave like the coin to Skorak anyway. The reason why I wanted the coin was because I was gonna go back to like in a monastery and just revive Daigo just in spite of him.
God.
You wanted to
Oh
rest?
my
Get the
God.
fuck back.
That was Daigo.
I'm really
You
glad
know,
I gave
I
point to Larry.
I need my father
Yeah,
figure.
I think reviving that one random girl that actually didn't want to die might, I'm glad I got the coin.
Reviving
Sorry, we used
Daigo.
your body, but you
That's why
oh, no.
I didn't stop you. That's why I didn't stop you.
Daigo revives just like,
It-
what the fuck, bro?
Fuck
Eh.
you! I
Really?
need my father figure. Get back.
I
You
wanted
didn't
to
pay
tell-
child support, bitch.
So everyone's dads is dead besides Liz's?
guess,
Pretty
yeah.
much. What were you going to say, Kaiser?
I wanted to say to James that I'm glad that he didn't sacrifice himself, but I was cut short.
I mean, he's also glad. He was alluding to it as well, but yeah.
That means that only
romance.
Liz can stay grounded. We can't get grounded, man. We can stay up as long as we want because we have no dads.
Dude, I've just spent like a week in a different country without calling back. I'm grounded when I get home.
Could you imagine?
I don't have a home
No-
anymore.
No one gets back home. Mister, you're grounded. You just look at your mother and I'm like, you have no idea. I have lived entire lifetimes.
I do not care if you save the world. Do you know what time it is?
Oh,
Uh,
man.
What do you mean, Musuzeme? You didn't do the dishes, young man.
You didn't do the
Oh.
dishes, young man.
And it just goes back to the door like, Yamada, I'm sorry, this is a bad time. This is probably not a good time to introduce you to how my mother. I don't fucking know. It's just outside.
Our mother again.
Mom, this is
Wait,
my brother.
aunt.
Yes, and at the very end, because the all that it really took was a little bit of trust towards a person who had always been betrayed by other people. Just some good faith and trust that the curse was telling the truth in this campaign full of liars and people that will betray you at the drop of a hat. You just had to trust the curse, the thing that had been on the land, and that's how you get the good ending. And you know what? I'll say it. You got the good ending when the first campaign did not get the good ending. They killed the curse.
Oh,
I'll say it. So take
I'm the
pride.
fucking MVP. Y'all can thank me.
Thanks to the combination of Yamada befriending it and Elizabeth holding herself back, you guys managed to get the actual quote-unquote good ending. Got the neutron. It's more of like a yeah.
it's
but
as good as
cool.
it can be, honestly.
Honestly,
fuck
this
is
is like
good
the
ending?
best. Yeah, this is the best ending.
Like, I'm struggling to think of like a theoretically speaking, right? But practically speaking, I'm struggling to like think of like any way things could have gone better.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody dies.
Would the curse have cooperated if it wasn't for Yamada's influence? Probably not, because the curse was just so drenched in despair and hatred.
Guys, that's why I said like theoretically I can think of a better way.
Yeah.
You're welcome, chat. You're welcome.
I mean, I guess like if we really spin the ball back, right? If from the first session onwards, everybody would have loved each other and cooperated
Yeah.
with each other, and we would have played this like a
Yeah.
video game with like pure logic and stuff, maybe. But like then this would not have been the same campaign at that point.
No, I agree.
It's probably a way inferior campaign, I think, if
Oh,
that's how
God.
we did it.
Because now knowing everything that you know and knowing all of the characters, there are certainly ways that you can exploit things. And like in theory, you could get mostly everyone on your side if you want to. It just depends. It's the problem is that there's a whole bunch of people that are very unwilling to compromise, like Raul and Hephaestus and Daigo, and they're all wanting different things that compete with each other, and so it's really hard because you're like putting out a fire here, and then you're like, "What the fuck are you doing, Daigo?" And Daigo's wilding out, asking Yamada to betray you guys. I'm like,
Well, we're literally gonna release the Isekai protagonist card where like nothing goes wrong and like we just game the system.
Exactly, yeah. No, and Laffy, as you had mentioned, considering, the other campaign managed to convince Hephaestus. So, in theory, you can convince every single one of the NPCs to be on your side. It's just really, really, really hard, near impossible. Like, it's basically impossible. Like, the true good ending where no one dies is like, yeah, okay, man, cope. Especially for people that don't know what's happening, right? Because you're dropped into Tibet, you're like, what is going on? So yeah, like it's I would not imagine anyone to go through this campaign blind and be able to make it through without anyone dying.
Yeah, you need a guidebook for that.
You would need a guidebook.
The
yes.
true ending guide.
Like an
I still
IGN
haven't watched
walkthrough
Fate.
guide.
Oh, God.
I'm glad I was here because I was genuinely thinking about like, I should probably dip.
Damn.
What the hell is an alter ego?
Oh yeah, alter ego. Oh man,
Oh,
but
man.
Bro,
yes.
I'm actually, if I find the time, while going to bed and stuff, I will rewatch some of the old sessions, like the initial pre-campaign Q&A and so on and so forth, just in order to see the setup of the mystery. This campaign is like Attack on Titan, where once it ends, you have to rewatch it and see like all of the red flags that were there in the beginning
like-
and stuff.
You would
Half of the rewatch is literally you like fucking like doing the soy jack face and pointing at things.
or even the, just like doing the opposite of a soy jack face as you see the seeds of the players making mistakes, as you're like, oh no. No, dude, don't trust Daigo. You want to know? you want to know? Or even like, God, yeah, rewatching like Yamada's pre-session where none of you knew that Daigo was a fucking bastard. Watching Noah's pre-session where none of you knew that Hephaestus was a bastard. Yeah, no, it's very interesting.
He was a cool wizard man in the robes in New York City. No one was dripping with that.
Through magic, all things are possible. Oh,
It
God.
probably in this universe would have been possible to do some like crazy butterfly effect stuff. Like
Yep.
one different word being spoken in the first session, everything would have been different.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, shit, I
Yeah.
just have an idea, right? We could turn the Q&A session into also a reverse Q&A session. So we ask things of the chat and make polls to see what they think.
The
Like,
joke.
you know, at the end of the day, who is best girl? And it's James, you know? And why is it James?
Because Dorian logged in with all 10 accounts to say it was James.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a wild.
I at least
campaign.
glad I punched him.
It is. It's crazy. It's a crazy ass campaign. Best girls writer. Oh, I got. Actually, we can end not in part of a Q&A, but just like in general. Outside of the player characters, did you guys have any favorite characters for all of the players?
I think Ryder unironically, but not even because of any like waifu shit, but just like she was just cool.
Mhm.
Like Ryder was very high up.
Not gonna lie, for me it's Berserker.
Berserker.
Oh, dude, yeah, actually,
Yeah, Don Quixote. Like, yeah.
he was really fucking cool.
Yeah, he got
I think
sidelined a
Raul
little
is
bit.
also very cool.
Raul is also.
You know, the
Ashkelata.
Iris, the character that existed since session 1, definitely, and wasn't just made on the spot.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you
think-
found the-
Out of all those problems, I think Archer was my favorite, actually.
Archer is
Archer was weird.
funny.
Yeah.
Archer
Yeah,
is
but
funny.
the thing, listen, I always play wild magic characters, so you know this was right down my ballpark. When you said we're gonna roll to see what she gets, I was low key hoping she wins.
I love gambling. And yeah, talking about the whatchamacallits, we were talking about chat earlier about like all of the research and whatnot being so again, she turned into Puck, again, the small pixie inside of Midsummer Night Dream. Is a shapeshifter. And yes, the Puck transformed into Oberon and Titania, who are both other characters in Midsummer Night Dream, by the way. So yes.
You know what? No bias at all. Probably James.
James
James is really cool.
The redemption,
They're really
yeah,
cool
I
on
kind of,
the-
I understand it.
James was
Fuck me, dude.
James was chat's favorite at a certain point. James is Dorian's favorite, certainly.
No, I gotta say, James was a grower, not a shower. Like in the beginning, I really disliked him as a character, but like by the end,
Yep. Yeah. It's hard to not like Berserker. That is true. Berserker is just very funny. Berserker is hilarious.
I just feel bad for him.
True.
Dude, this man showed up, threw a horse in the beginning, and then left at the end on a pony into an imaginary windmill. He started and ended on amazing notes.
Correct.
I never
Oh.
liked Grace. I'm sorry, Skorek. I always thought Grace was weird. It's like,
Yeah.
Well,
Grace was weird. I think that was part
Correct.
of it.
Yeah.
yeah,
is she a different person now? I don't know. Find out in the Q.
it's just gonna be like, who is this random woman that is hugging me and crying? Who are you? Get off of me!
Ooh.
Uh,
And Raul, I think that Raul is very similar to like even like Hephaestus and whatnot. Raul is one of the characters that is like, I think even more than Hephaestus, is just like so dead set on his goals. He just like continuously over and over again was like, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna take the mana from the ley line. You're gonna let me do it. I'm gonna do it. I don't give a fuck. Well, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I don't give a fuck how I do it. I don't give a fuck who I have to kill to do it. I'm gonna get my mana for my ley line.
I believe he just wanted to take his robot and go back to Ishvalda and shoot like some
Correct.
Ishvaldan higher ups.
Exactly.
Like I think he just wanted to like go fuck them up. So you know what? We didn't do too bad. He's not starting World War. He's starting a Civil War. Different
Yeah,
story.
Also, I will say it's gonna be very funny when the epilogue turns into like a fucking family drama for a little bit when the Blair family has the. So when were you gonna tell us you're an ancient witch, talk?
Yeah. So you're an ancient witch that started the original village along with Daigo and Hephaestus.
Oh yeah.
Mom, I know this
Spark?
is awkward.
Correct. I might have to crash at your place because I'm homeless now.
That's true.
Shut. Oh, that's. Ooh.
Hey, boys.
Listen, I mean,
actually, I think
no, you go.
I would just say that for the Q&A stream, I think it would be funny if like before we do the Q&A for the epilogue part, if we maybe even like act out a couple of those kinds of like player to player
I'm down.
player to
I'm
NPC
down.
interactions,
Like
like stuff like
episodes.
that.
I'm down.
That would be quite funny.
Oh.
Oh god.
So
Or
yeah,
even-
you know.
a couple of people have mentioned as well, Assassin, who just like got what he wanted and fucked off. He just Assassin's like, thanks, tips, and then left.
You know, one of these days they're both alive. So Liz is going to run into Assassin because you know, spoiler alert, Liz didn't learn her lesson. She's gonna travel around the world doing heroics. So when she gets him,
Assassin.
It just like opens the door. I heard there were some kids walking off cliffs around these parts. Gotta get
Assassin!
It's Bard.
Yeah, it's Bard. It's not
Bard,
Assassin,
you're
it's
on the
Bard.
way.
Oh god.
Wait, Dio.
Hmm.
So like, is the curse just like Yamada's schizophrenic friend, or like what at this point?
No, yeah, he's inside your mind, yeah. Oh, King of Kane, to clear up the Nameless was around, quote unquote, before the White Death showed up. But I had mentioned in, I think, Ubel's pre-session that there were rumors about giant wolves and whatnot inside the mythos of the I think I had made that comment, or I should have at the very least. The White Death only showed up in like the middle of the campaign, or like towards the start. But the White Death was something that was around. That far back, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it being mentioned.
Yeah, it had been mentioned that there were legends of giant wolves inside of Suzume, and that's because the White Wolf had been the Guardian since the start. The Guardian is nameless. He doesn't have a name because the same way Hephaestus never saw the curse as a person, Hephaestus never saw the Guardian as a person. He's only the Guardian. That's why he doesn't have a name, because Hephaestus just never gave him a name. Because Hephaestus is Hephaestus. Hephaestus, we love him.
Yep, Hephaestus was once again ballin'.
He always be ballin'.
That man was balling, honestly.
He was balling. Oh man.
Oh man.
But yes, it has been a long time. This campaign has taken quite a long time, mostly due to delays and whatnot. It'd be that way. The number one, the actual final boss of every campaign is scheduling. That's just true. But we have finally arrived here. Oh man.
Ooh, quite a session we're gonna have like next
Oh.
week, because like the Q&A I think is gonna be quite like there's gonna be a lot of things. I think.
I can imagine. There's a fucking Google Doc for it. But yeah. Oh,
There's graphs.
there are graphs. Yes, there are graphs.
The
in
go-
Google Doc.
oh yeah. I heard he has like a graph for like how many time everyone speaks in like a
Yes,
session.
yes, he does. Yes.
Nuts.
But all
It's
right.
like insane.
For one final time for the actual campaign, I thank you all for showing up. I thank all of my wonderful players for showing up, including Para, who didn't even know he'd be a part of this session.
And we thank you, Dio. It's been an experience. Holy shit.
Thank you, Dio. Yeah,
Yes, a,
we will
special,
receive our
Yeah.
payment.
a special thank you to King of Canyons, Joseph Windle, Dorian, and Gulag for all of the donations and everyone who has ever donated to this campaign, or anyone who is ever watching this in the future on a rewatch, or watching this in the future just finding this randomly. Perhaps like there was some future campaign and you go, oh, there's a Fate Stay Night campaign, and you've managed to make it to the end of this wild ride. I thank you for sticking through all 28 episodes and ending the cycle of Samsara. Oh.
Oh, that's why it was called that. Oh.
It's like the writing in fire meme.
And so I salute to all of you. I thank you for this amazing journey, and I wish to hopefully see you sometime in the future. And you know what?
Man, how the fuck am I
Thank you,
gonna follow
Dio.
this
Thank you
up?
for the campaign.
We'll end off with a bang.